This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome, everybody. How are you? My name is Colteastwood over here. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding tonight. Colteastwood, this is the Mag here tonight, and we're here on XNC. We got some things to talk about. Oh, you had to write in your hand. We're on Mag, XMC. You know, like the rock stars, when they don't know what city they're in, they write it on the back of the guitar.
They're like, welcome to Springfield.
Hey, welcome, Detroit. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's us, you know, the two old men up in the balcony. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 183. We've been cranking along. I was going through my phone, Mag, the other day. I was going through my screenshots, and I had a screenshot of, in about a month, it'll be, 3 years since you first were on here? It was the very first day you were on with Gaz and I, and it was February 20th. Like 2022? 21?
Something
I don't know
like
what it was.
that.
It was forever ago. It was great.
Forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been playing a whole. It's been a really weird gaming time. We just got out of like the holidays, and my most of my family was sick. I was the only one who didn't catch like this rare Ebola thread. So it was insane. Just yesterday we took down all the Christmas stuff. So I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on early preview, and I am completely lost, which I think I probably said a little bit last week. Every day I'm even more lost than the first. But what have you been up to?
Gaming wise, I've also been extremely busy because I'm trying to get some solo content besides the game streaming. I'm trying to get some solo content on the channel. I launched one video, very happy with the response I got. Got almost 500 views on the first video, 100 plus likes. I'm like, hey, that's great. Really happy with that. I got a lot of happy feedback. I also got some constructive feedback. Obviously, I'm not a tech guy, so I'm working on video quality and sound right now, folks. So I'm going to continue to plug away and give you guys some quality content of things that are going on in the gaming world, and of course in Hollywood too, because that's where all my friends are. So so I got a whole lot of stuff coming up in there, and I'm going to be game streaming tomorrow. I'm going to be playing It Takes Two Part 2 with my son tomorrow night, the Wolfman. Wednesday, by the way. So another game I just started. And Colt, I don't know if you've played it. I think you have mentioned it before, but everybody in the chat, if you haven't played this game yet, please do. It is such a wonderful throwback to like the early style Gears games, whatever, and 360 kind of games. Is Space Marine 2. I will be streaming that Wednesday night. It's so good. I will be streaming that Wednesday night with my wife on a new segment on my channel called Till Death Do Us Part, where it's my wife and I gaming together, playing co-op games, and we're going to be playing Space Marine 2. And I got to tell you, man, that game is so much fun. And it's simple. You know what I mean? Like obviously I'm not stupid. I can play games that have like, 8 million button configurations and this and that, whatever. Like Stellar Blade's got like, 16 different buttons to be in combos to be able to like do this, that, and the other. Space Marine, very simple. Aim, shoot, stab, rip apart, period.
Yep.
That's it. You just walk around and you murder everything with impunity, and you just have a blast doing it. For me, I know it sounds crazy. Some people might get upset by this, but this is what Gears 4 and 5 to me could have been, should have been. And I felt like this is more the Gears that we deserve, to be quite honest, because I wasn't really impressed with 4 and 5. Okay, visually, yes. Hivebusters was incredible, yes. But I didn't like the main 4 and 5. I was just like, eh. This had the vibe of a 360 style shooter for us old graybeards out here that love those kind of very simplistic. You could pick it up anytime. You don't have to like relearn an encyclopedia of to how to, what button does what. It's very simple. Aim, shoot, melee, call it a life. Great time. So that's what I've been up to. And so you haven't been doing much?
I mean, I've burned through all those games already, but I've just been relaxing. And who was it in the chat that said, let us know as well, chat, what you've been playing lately, because it could be a slow time unless you're No Lifing Path of Exiles like Fonz, who's got like almost 400 hours. Oh, Nerds and Other Legends says, let's talk about how Xbox died again. Um,
Fonz had no life
impromptu.
before.
Yeah, impromptu.
I didn't say that, Fonz. Yep.
The impromptu thing I thought I would mention was that today we'll be talking about some of the leaked information of games that are coming to Xbox that are PlayStation exclusives formerly, and vice versa, Xbox exclusives that go to PlayStation, right? And you and I have been talking about this for 14 months now. And I went back and checked, and we have been talking about it on the show as early as December of 2023.
Yep. Yes.
Was that what it was?
13 months we've been talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick, but we can get into that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's everywhere. Everyone, I reported this first. I didn't know. I knew first. But, a lot of people I get a lot of I'm leaving Xbox. Xbox is dead. And I was looking back at the channel and the podcast and everything, and since Xbox has been publicly, going more multi-platform, it's actually, I think the perception, what I'm getting at, the perception is so wild because things have been going really well for me as a gaming content creator or an Xbox gaming content creator. And I looked at like people jumping on and watching stuff and supporting and clicking on the videos and commenting, and there's more of an interest in Xbox than there was back in 2022 or even part of 2023. I think there's a universal acclaim that we're going to talk about as we talk about these games later on the show that people didn't see coming, which is, I think, part of the when I kind of make the joke that Phil Spencer and them and company sit back and go, yeah, people are freaking out about the console, but things are going pretty well right now, and we're coming back up from COVID. We'll get into that. But what's the bone you want to pick there, Mag?
Well, this is what I wanted to talk about, that over the last 48 hours, if there was any hair on my head, which there's not, 509 Gaming, by the way, I can give you a quick little, he's asking about Splinter Cell. He says, we dying out here. Splinter Cell, I assure you, is still on the docket. But you got to understand what's going on with Ubisoft is not as simple as, well, if Assassin's Creed fails, then all is going to hell, and then they're just going to sell everything. It's a very complicated situation going on over there financially.
Really? Can you expunge and elaborate in other E-letter words that, because
that's a great word.
I know, and I've never used it live before. There is the narrative that Jason Schreier said it, and I've seen videos from people like Legendary Drops and other content creators who know a lot of things that say if Ubisoft doesn't deliver with Assassin's Creed, it's over. Like if Xbox loses their way with Halo. What's your take on it, Mag?
Well, it's a lot more than just that. It's not just hinging on one game. It's going to be an integral part of how the outlook of the future is looking, and of course the confidence in the stockholders, right? They're looking at this as the big game that's going to basically sort of give a litmus test as to the future of Ubisoft. And of course, with the wagons circling, all right, or the buzzards, shall we say, circling the bodies, about to pick the bones of Ubisoft, like Tencent and everybody else, the scoundrels out there doing what they're doing. The releases of these games are a little bit more complex because they're trying to negotiate. They're trying to spin like 9 plates at once here. What they're trying to do is keep the company afloat. They've got multiple studios in multiple cities all over the planet. They literally employ tens of thousands of people to negotiate all of that, plus the release of the games, plus trying to keep these stockholders happy, plus fighting the culture war, with the woke and non-woke and this and that, whatever, on the social media side of things. It's a lot going on for this company right now, and what they need to do is they have to figure out. Well, I'm sure they're figuring it out behind the scenes what they're actually going to do, whether they're going to sell portions of the company, make it a little smaller, make it a little more focused. But we don't know 100%. So as a result, it is affecting the release schedules of some of these games that are a little bit further out than Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed was supposed to come out in literally 3 weeks, right? Or whatever, 1 month, 1 month. So if it's coming out in 1 month, that obviously is already basically, besides the little tweaking and this and that, it's already in the can. But things like Splinter Cell are not exactly in the can just yet. You're talking anywhere from 9 months to a year away, maybe 2 years, depending on how long it's going to take to polish. They are taking a lot of feedback. They've done a lot of work behind the scenes. Apparently, Star Wars Outlaws, which I bought, by the way, it was, you know what, Colt, I bought it. It was 60% off.
What's that in wallet terms?
Star Wars Outlaws. In
what,
wallet
like 20,
terms,
around
like,
$20, $30, $20?
No, Canadian, it was about 50 with tax and everything. right? So yeah, about 45.
I'm still
50
waiting
bucks,
for it to
somewhere around
drop
there.
further before I buy it on
So,
PC.
It was on sale, and I heard a lot of big things about. I heard a lot of like a quality of life fixes and things like that. They really did a lot of work on the game. So that being the case, I got that. Listen, I have nothing against Ubisoft.
I love them.
I actually really enjoy their games, and I love their open world games because I'm so used to them now that I get into a new game and they're like, oh, it's just the same old Ubisoft, and I'm like, perfect. I'm good with that. I'm perfect. I'm good with that. Like Avatar. I got 100% on that. The people couldn't even finish the game, and I'm like, but I'm a Ubisoft guy, so I enjoy those games.
They overdo it with the open world, but only
do.
so much for me. Like there's a little bit of extra tipping point of too much of that open world, but the rest of it, I love it. Love it.
Charles Darwin in the chat. He goes 12 Canadian bacons. That's how much it cost.
That's how much it cost. They set it on the golden scale. There at the Granville station. Granville Square.
Anyways, I heard the game had quite an overhaul. So they are taking, like, the developers themselves are taking their jobs a little more, seems to be taking their jobs a little more seriously. They're like, okay, let's fix this because we're about to get thrown out on our butts here. So, you know what I mean? So they did a big overhaul on Star Wars Outlaws. Apparently it's great now. I'll get into that later because my next on the list after Space Marines, I still got to do, I'm still going to be streaming a couple of other games there. Astrobot as well, because people had a lot of fun me playing that. I got to go in and I got to play the Final Fantasy games, which I never got to because I want to finish them before 2025. Rams its fist down my throat with games, right? So I want to get those big games moving along. Dragon's Dogma, another one I haven't even started yet. So I heard it's great. So I got a lot of things on the go. The point is, Splinter Cell is not a ghost. It's real, no pun intended. It's a real thing. It's a real game. It is coming. It's just they got a lot on their plate right now. So they're trying to get things organized. They're trying to figure out the future of the company and this and that, whatever. Feverishly working on it. They're not just sitting back going, oh, well, we'll just do whatever. No, they're actually quite concerned, and there's a lot going on there. So, assure you that if it's not them, someone is still releasing that game at some point.
Yeah, I think at this point, they've got to get buckle down and get Splinter Cell. They know it's important for their future. But we're also going to talk a little bit later about Ubisoft is making big moves toward the next Nintendo Switch, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, Ubisoft, I don't know. There should be more information about Assassin's Creed Shadows soon. I don't even think if we covered. I think it was. I'm trying to remember if it was in the news that they moved the release date from February 14th. February 14th to March 20th. So they moved an entire month. So
there are people freaking out about it. I'm like, guys, it's not. No, just like they're like, it's delayed. It's delayed because of this. And I'm like, listen, there's a lot of things I don't agree with on this, on a lot of fronts there, or whatever else when it comes to like, all the culture war stuff here and there. But the thing is, they did not delay it because of that. I think they delayed it because they're trying to make sure that they don't have another Star Wars Outlaws launch on their hands. That's what they're worried about more.
And it's a no-brainer because they were launching in the middle of an absolute juggernaut of a month with Monster Hunter Wilds next to them, Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance a week or two before that. It's a crazy time. And
that would have been a bad time to release, dude. That's a bad time to release on top of it. On top of it, it says, you know what? Give them another month. Let them work out some more bugs, some more quality of life stuff, and get it the hell away from Monster Hunter World. I mean, you got a Capcom game coming out. Get out of its way. If I told you that 5 years ago, you would have laughed at 6 years ago, you would have laughed at my face because Capcom was on the verge of bankruptcy. But you fast forward 7 years now. And Capcom is a juggernaut. You get out of Capcom's way. They're like after Dead Rising 4.
Yeah, they went from We're Gonna Die into we're one of the most prolific Japanese studios.
Resident Evil 7, man.
Yeah,
Resident Evil 7 raised, no pun intended, raised them from the dead, and then brought him back to prominence. And then Monster Hunter World put him over the top. Yeah, that's when Hogan won the belt again. It was just like,
Hogan.
It was right above. Oh, that's right, brother. They were good to go after that.
Thunder Lips. What about Thunder Lips?
The Ultimate Man versus
Come here,
the
meatball.
Ultimate Meatball.
I was in a weird mood the other day and I put on Rocky 5 and I'm like, I'm going to give Rocky 5, watch it like 20 times. I'm going to watch it as an adult and see how it does. And I was like this, Meg.
It's so bad. Dude, it's so bad. My ring's outside.
Knock, knock.
Yeah.
my damn foot's caught in the door. I'm like, oh man, I was like 15 and now it's like, it's even worse.
Oh my God, no,
so
stop
bad.
that. No.
It's so bad, bro.
My ring's outside. Well, please don't do that.
Come on, that was the only good line in the whole movie.
The only thing that happened in the movie that was actually any good is when he was like lying on the ground in the alley, and then he has that whole like black and white scene with
Mick.
What the hell's his name? With Mick.
Mickey.
And then he's like, "You son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you." And then like he gets up, and then all of a sudden I was like, yes. That was the only part of the movie that was good. And then thank God he redeemed himself with Rocky Balboa when he fought Mason the Lion Dixon. I could literally watch that movie 8,000 times in a row and never get bored.
I'll probably watch that one again. Yeah.
And start slamming kegs into the ground like when he was training and stuff, like smashing the keg. Let's build some hurting bombs. Yeah, I was just
so good.
Oh my God, I just want to punch the crap out of something right now.
I love it. That whole movie's so good. We even talked about that like a couple months ago about the best moments of Rocky Balboa from 06. That's so good. You know, when my brothers and I, we were all really close in age growing up, and we all loved the Rocky movies. And my mom had this blanket she kept on the couch. So cheesy thing. I mean, it's like 86, right? And my mom had this blanket that was black with like a yellowish gold trim, and it had a print of a huge tiger on it. It was just a gigantic blanket, it was just black and orange thread, and it was this tiger. Yep. I don't know, but I mean, it was perfect. We laid it on the floor in the family room, and that was our Eye of the Tiger boxing ring.
Eye of the Tiger, baby.
Stay inside the blanket. And then my brother beat the crap out of me. It was great.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bounce Tuna, what's up, man? He's like, he goes, man, it's been a minute. Good to be back. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, Chris Williams in the chat says, is your mom Mike Tyson? Speaking of Mike Tyson, that blue number in the chat got a brand new coffee mug in the mail, a late Christmas present. It's a coffee mug with Mike Tyson with his butt cheeks.
Oh, the camera butt shot. Cheek.
Yep.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding.
Yeah. You know what would have been cooler if it was like him wearing his trunks, and when you pour coffee in it, the heat dissolves the trunks, and then you get cheeks. That'd be amazing. But
yeah.
Let me read some super chats. We're going to get into the gaming news. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What do we got? We got about almost 500 people. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. We're on YouTube live, and we're also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts on demand. So if you're listening to us and you can tell the difference between my voice and Mag's voice, and you're enjoying the show, let us know there as well. We appreciate you. We've got a super from Literal Table 756. Thank you so much for the Canadian $6.99. Says, while I'm glad Final Fantasy 16 might finally come to Xbox, I have no reason to play it again unless there's new story content or a new, happier ending. All right.
Oh well, I haven't started it yet, so let's not get into spoilers.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. I can't wait to get going on it. To be quite honest, really,
yeah. I've heard mixed things. I mean, I tried the demo on PlayStation, and I was too. Like,
yeah.
The cutscenes.
I was like, all right.
Like, I don't know. You know how I am.
That's the one thing. Sometimes the Japanese, or actually not just Japanese, it's just Asian games in general, Korean, Japanese. I haven't played Black Myth Wukong. I'm not interested. But my God, the cutscenes. Guys, calm down with the cutscenes. Get back to the gameplay, man. Just let it go. That's where Capcom is so great. They got that perfect balance. Where a lot of the times, and this is something that's really important to me, and I think it actually keeps you in. That's why Resident Evil is so immersive, is that a lot of the story is told while you're playing. So you're walking around doing stuff, and you're getting radio calls and this and that, whatever, and story beats are happening while you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
So you're never pulled out of the experience, and then you're sitting there like this for 10 minutes.
I hate games that pop up a paper or a document for you to read. I love BioShock, where you hold the button and you listen to like the pre-recorded message while you walk and do things or loot or whatever. It keeps you in the moment. That's what made Halo ODST so great, was the audio files you found that when you play them in succession, they told a story about a young girl escaping the Covenant invasion. Amazing.
That's another thing I like. Like, for example, some games where you get like the audio just kind of plays while you're playing. Like, let's say you pick up a file or this and that, and it's telling you a story. You're getting an audio file. And if you're playing on PlayStation, it's coming through your controller. So it kind of sounds like you're holding a little tape recorder in your hand that you just picked up. And it's really cool. Or on Xbox, you're hearing it on your screen or your headphones. And I'm like, but it doesn't pull you out of the experience.
Yeah.
The problem with some of these games are, especially what I heard is like Final Fantasy, it's like I could sit there and do half of my workout while the cutscene's going on. I actually might do that. I'm going to bring my weights into the other room and do like 25 reps while I'm waiting for the next cutscene to be over. Yeah. And actually, we're going to start doing that, gamers. Let's get everybody in shape. So yeah. So
I pulled 10 push-ups on Gaz's show on Saturday because I was making fun of Tosh from Veilguard. And somebody goes, Colt, you need to pull 10 bards. So I did. I dropped down and gave him 10. I didn't give Gaz 10, but
okay. The only thing I got from Gaz's show was a coma because it was so boring. But anyways, yeah, you know. Sorry, Gaz.
It was so bad. Jacob McQuaid.
Oh my God!
What a cool
I saw
name.
you on the show. Yeah, I saw you on the show.
Yeah.
And no, I was creeping in the background. I had too much stuff going on. So
just like
yeah, but I had big things to do in the city on the weekend, so I was really busy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I still saw your mug on there.
Yeah, well, I do what I can. Jacob McQuaid, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, have either of you guys heard anything about ZeniMax Online Studios' new project? The long dev cycle and no news has me concerned. It's in development hell. I haven't heard anything negative about development or any hitches for ZeniMax's game, and I thought maybe we'd see it at Dev Direct, but
no,
probably this summer.
We're not going to see it at Developer Direct.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything negative as well. But the funny thing is, for all the stuff that I do here, which, by the way, I still got that bone to pick.
Wait, you didn't pick it when you were talking about Ubisoft?
No,
well,
I got distracted by the Ubisoft question.
Anyway,
the ZeniMax Online game, I have actually heard nothing about it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know anything about it. I've heard no inside info, like literally zero radio silence. However, I'll save it for a rainy day. I do know what I do. I almost said something stupid. I almost said something really stupid.
It starts with a P, everyone.
No, shut up. I know what Everwild is.
What? You do know what?
I know. I'll save it for a rainy day, but I know what Everwild is. I like Everwild. Everybody's like, what the hell is this game? Right? It's been going on forever. They scrapped it. They started over. And I found out what it is from someone working on it. I'm like, oh. And I'll save that for a rainy day.
Okay.
But my bone to pick is this news over the last 2 days. Boy, am I ever pissed. Everybody's acting like it's something new. Did you hear the Master Chief Collection's coming to PlayStation? It's also coming to Switch too. And I'm sitting there, if I had any hairs, I would have ripped them out of my skull. And I'm sitting there going, I told you guys a year ago, literally on this show. By the way, I found the clip. But I'm not going to be that guy. But I still found the clip anyway. I'm like, maybe I didn't say anything. I went back and I found it February. I think it was February 4th week of January. I can't remember which one it was. We said on this very show, Halo Master Chief Collection is going to the PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Pro and the Switch 2. We said it on this very show 12 months ago. And then I got these guys out here getting clicks, views, likes, this, that. Did you hear that so-and-so just spilt the beans on Halo? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, mind you, to be fair,
Bill Burr.
To be fair, I know, I kind of did. To be fair, I'm obviously not long-term proven. So a lot of people be like, well, we're not sure about this guy. We're not sure about this guy. You know, he's only been in the game for about 3-4 years. You know, some of the other guys have been talking about it, been in the game for like 10 years, no pun intended, in the game. But they've been out there, whatever else. But still, like you want to wait, like Colt and I both said it right here on the show. We confirmed it here on this very show 1 year ago. So I just like to point that out. If anybody actually wants real info,
you can say haha, but saying it a year ago was different from talking about it right now. Like there's been a lot of
about it with conviction. Like I knew
that's true. There's been a lot of
I knew as a fact. They were already developing it then.
And you know,
that's why I heard about it. They're like, oh, it's already been in development for a couple of months now. Yeah.
Is Halo Master Chief when it gets a new port on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2?
I'm still not going to get the platinum.
So freaking successful. It's going to boost Halo's optics so much.
I think Gears is going to be more successful. That's my call. I think Gears is going to be absolutely. I think that Gears will be a bigger game on PlayStation than Halo will. Just my thoughts, because I think Halo is so pushed far back because it was like literally 3 generations ago,
Yeah,
whatever,
older,
like 1, 2,
sure.
and 3. Oh, sorry, 1 and 2. 3 was 360. 4 was 360. 5 was Xbox One, and then Infinite, and then like 5 and Infinite didn't really get that great of a reception. Never mind the other games like ODST and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, like the mainline ones. I think that Gears had a better reception. I think it'll do better on I don't know. That's just my gut feeling. I just think that Gears is going to do better, especially like the Gears collection, which, by the way, will not have multiplayer. Interesting little side note.
Okay,
looks like it's
we'll get into Gears because.
Oh, we're going to talk about it later? Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot there, because you have some ideas and then I have some contradicting ideas, not if anything that I've heard according to the leaks. Some of it just doesn't really make sense. So we'll want to hash that out properly. And I think there's also a rumor that Halo 5 is making its way downtown to Steam. Halo 5 is one of 2 prominent Xbox games that are actually still fully exclusive, only on Xbox consoles. Halo 5 and Forza Horizon 2 are like 2 prominent, popular titles that have never gone to PlayStation, Steam.
Really?
Yeah, or even PC. You can't even get Halo 5 on PC.
Halo 5 was never released as a multi-platform game?
It's never even released on PC. I don't even think you can get it on. There's not even a Windows PC version.
Can I confess something? I actually kind of liked Halo 5.
I did too. Well,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I played through the campaign twice.
It needed some more variety in enemies, but the feel of that game is so awesome. Yeah, I did too.
I liked it. I had no problem with the story and everything else. I'm like, all right, the story's the story.
Want to know something else? It was also one of the best looking games at its time.
It was a beautiful looking game, and that opening sequence, when they jump out of the ship. Can they hear us
right now?
Yeah, I think they can hear us.
Okay, yeah, it was a good looking game, and what'd you say? You it was good. You liked it?
You remember the opening?
It's an 84 Metacritic.
You know that when they jump out of the ship and then they're like sliding down the mountain, like on the snow and all that stuff, and they got the guns out, and they're like literally loading the guns while they're going down the mountain and jumping and all this, and all the Spartans are doing their thing. That was so dope. When I saw that opening sequence, I'm like, yo. I'm like, this game just took a turn, and then all of a sudden you like land on the ground and right into it, and I'm just like, and then that's how you start a game.
And you look up, and the sky is full of ships and lasers and explode.
I think I got a bad rap. That's just me. I just think I got a bad rap. It's like, lock and this and that. And I'm like, okay, whatever, man.
Lock.
Yeah, I like a lock a lot. Lock. Listen, I thought it was a fun game. I enjoyed it very much.
And Lark.
And Lark?
Lark is like, surprise, mother. Yeah. All right, let's get back. Oh, yeah, that was Jacob McQuaid got the longest answer in all of podcasting history. You got the longest
answer in podcast history. Can you imagine that? That was a super chat worth $10,000 right
I'm gonna bet you right now. Audience, I'm going to bet you right now that Mag doesn't even know what he was asking about in the super chat.
I have no idea. Like, we've gone so far off the deep end. I don't even know what show we're on right now.
I don't even know what day it is. He was asking about ZeniMax Online, and I'll add on.
Is this RDX?
Yeah, we are. Where's D-Batch? We need Zocker. We need everybody.
Dealer.
He was like,
all right, no, he's fine. He's sleeping. He's sleeping in the back. He's fine. He's leaning up against the Street Fighter.
Yeah, him and Rand are spooning somewhere in a warm, cozy place.
Don't bother him. He's dead tired.
Jacob McQuaid was asking about ZeniMax Online Studios, and I'll just add that there was rumors going around that it was a Mandalorian game. There are rumors that it is tied to Star Wars in some form, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just their own franchise.
I think if it was a Mandalorian game, we would have heard by now. Yeah. They wouldn't have been shy about it.
Yeah. But Meg and I will end that question with, we haven't heard anything bad about it being in development hell or anything like that. So I'm just surprised we didn't hear about it, that it wasn't in this direct coming up. And I'm surprised we didn't hear about it last showcase. So I can only just think maybe it's this one coming up in the summer. So yeah, there you go, Jacob. Sith Lord says, hi guys, thanks for being awesome. Thursday I'm having surgery on my arm for dialysis. All should be okay. Right. Wondering when we get out some 4XP. I'm thirsty. That's a good point. I'm drinking some 4XP right now. Meg,
are you now?
Tell people about our sponsor. We've got the XNC 20% off code if you use What did you get?
Well, allow me to tell you, I am going to, by the way, risk it for the biscuits, scumbag extraordinaire. Listen, he's bothering me. He's like, oh, I see Mag's wearing a blue shirt. The pony, blah, bliggity blah, blah, bloggity blee, and all, whatever the hell he's talking about. Let me tell you what I'm wearing. That's 4XP right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. 4XP, 4XP.com gaming. Let me tell you something. They gave me a shirt, beautiful shirt, 2 shirts. And of course, I'm wearing the snazzy hat right now, the 4XP snazzy hat, because you know why? They sent me a whole plethora of wonderful products. I got them all right here. Here's the little joystick ones. I'm going to put them up for the camera for everybody to see. Take a look at that. All right, they gave me a whole bunch of these to give out to family and friends and colleagues and everything else, and I'm going to be spreading these out everywhere because let me tell you something. They're magnificent. I just gave some to my neighbor because he drinks them. He doesn't drink them a lot, but he drinks them like usually a couple times a week, especially when he's working early in the morning. And I gave him one of each kind to start. No joke. Not even 24 hours later, he sends me a text. He's like, "Dude, the white gummy. How can I get more?" And I'm like, hey, man, no problem. So he's already asking about it. I already sent him to the website. I said, listen, if you want more, I said, I got a couple you can have here. I said, but you want to buy the actual stuff? Get online. Go to 4xpgaming.com. You find them all there. Now, the other thing is, they were 20%
off with XCC code. XCC 20.
There you go, 20% off. They sent me a fancy little tumbler here. See that? The 4XP? What you do is you take one of these joysticks right here, all right, and it's got the powder inside. You dump it inside. 16 ounces of water, which it has the measuring on the side. You shake it up like this.
Shake weight it, Bryn.
And you just shake it like a madman. And you know what? Or mad woman. And you drink it, and off you go. And that's it. It's very simple. And I'm also very grateful they sent me this too. Look at this.
Isn't that cool?
An XNC podcast thermos. And I have been using it daily now. And I absolutely adore it. And then, of course, here, look at this, folks. A whole bunch of bags filled with products, but I can tell you right now, all 3 flavors are magnificent. But let me tell you something.
And Coltnificent too, yeah.
And then Coltnificent. The Gravewalker right now is the MVP. I want you to go to 4xp.com, 4xpgaming.com, and I want you to sell them out of white gummy.
Yeah, we've got them
it now.
We've got that in the description that you can go to our sponsor and you can put in that code, which is on the screen. That'll get you 20% off. But right now I'm drinking the white gummy, which tastes like white gummy bears or white gummy worms. It's so good. And the cool thing about it is it's got all the energy, but it's got far less caffeine than when I was drinking Mountain Dew. So like these things have been really great. And yeah, you drink them in a tumbler or I'm really enjoying the white gummy. Also, they have watermelon and they have blue raspberry, but the names, I'll tell you real quick, the names, and we'll move on to the gaming news, is blue raspberry is called Legendary, watermelon's called Ultra Nightmare, and then Gravewalker is the white gummy, and they usually have like video game graphics on there. It's awesome. So shout out to
honestly,
4XP.
the packaging. Oh yeah, 4XP, amazing. Let me tell you something. Just the artwork on the products themselves are better than anything I've ever seen, because usually, it just has like, you get like Prime drink or whatever. It just says Prime.
Yeah.
Or it just says Red Bull, and it's got the stupid bullhead. And then you've got Monster, and it's got nothing on it, whatever. You get this stuff. You get Ultra Nightmare. You got a sexy girl on the cover there. Look at that. Look at that right there. Sexy girl on the cover.
All that matters.
Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Stories written on it. Instructions. Everything you want to see. Wonderful quality artwork. Shake it up, baby. Let's go. 4xpgaming.com. Get it into your system. Listen, you're not going to regret it. You want to finish all these games in 2025? You want to do it in a timely manner? You get into 4xpgaming.com, because that's the only way you're going to be able to finish all those games before 2026 drops. Goes, and that ball drops in New York City, and it goes to 2026. You're going to have all those games done only if you got 4xpgaming.com. Let's get into the show, Colteastwood.
Thank you, Meg. I don't even want to think about 2026, but appreciate you. Shout out to our sponsor. Also, Maxwell Cozevedo, thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, Mag, spill the beans. What legendary Japanese IP? Persona 6, Metal Gear Solid Remake, Echo the Dolphin? We got to hold that question. We'll get into it when we dive into Developer Direct. We got Red Wolf Renegade with the $2 super. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. We appreciate you, all your support. Red Wolf says, have we talked about Dawnwalker? Let's hear it. Strangely enough, I just heard about this game today, or it completely sidestepped my radar, but It is made by the former developers from CD Projekt Red that worked on The Witcher 3. It's a third-person, very mature, gritty, incredible graphics, fantasy, medieval, dark RPG. I don't know if you've seen it, Mag, but there's only pre-rendered stuff at this point for Dawnwalker is what it's called.
Yes.
Have you seen anything on it?
On my second screen right here, I've got our show going, and right next to it is the official trailer for The Blood of Dawnwalker.
It's
right
like 40
next to
seconds or something. Can you play it while you're talking?
Oh, no.
For yourself?
No, this one is 4 minutes and 41 seconds from IGN.
Oh, okay. I don't trust them.
So it's actually like a whole situation. Now, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because does it have a release date? Because if I've heard nothing about this and it's coming out soon, I wouldn't get your hopes. I'll tell you, statistically speaking, when something drops and they're like, oh, by the way, there's this game coming out, and you're like, oh, when? Oh, this summer, and you've heard nothing about it before then, 10 times out of 10, it's not going to be good. However, these are ex-CD Projekt Red people, and if it's going to be at least a year to 2 years to 3 years out, then I'll have faith in the project. But if I'm hearing about it this soon, usually when they do stuff like that, they're trying to hit you with a pretty... I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm really just being realistic and honest here. Mm-hmm. Temper your expectations if it's coming out soon, because what happens is they send out a pretty trailer, pre-rendered graphics, this and that, get people excited, and then the game is dog water. So let's
click it on your other monitor for a second while I'm talking about that, so you can kind of take a look, because it's all pre-rendered, so you kind of get the vibe of what it looks like. So
I got
today,
it on my second screen now.
Okay, today was the reveal event for the Dawnwalker game, so this is the first time people are seeing the trailer, and Rebel Wolves is the name of the studio. So it's got everything that I know that our audience probably loves. Gritty, mature, third person, great graphics, some of your favorite developers working on it. And I see like that blue numbers, like it's probably 2 years out. Red Wolf's kind of saying the same thing.
If
I don't
it
know
is,
if they
then
said
that's
that.
good.
It's
that's
a while.
Good.
It's a while.
But my thing is, why are they showing it randomly now? Like,
this is their big
like
reveal moment, man. They don't need to wait for a showcase. They're on their own.
Oh, there actually is gameplay here in the trailer. If you actually watch it, towards the end, there is actual gameplay here, and I can assure you it's gameplay. I'm watching it on a big monitor.
Oh, okay.
So this is gameplay. They showed a drag and drop. Hold on, let me see if it actually.
What time code?
Oh crap. Sorry. Hold on. Let me see if it has a release date, and then I'll go back to it. Gameplay reveal summer 2025.
Oh, here it is.
So they already had.
Yep.
They already had
like
a snippet.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? Where like a dragon drops down, you can see the character.
That was
move.
it. Yeah.
That
and then the guy walks up
pre-rendered.
over a cliff. That's it. Sorry, I would show that on. By the time I got that up on the overlay for you guys, we would be done talking about it. But yeah, it looks awesome.
It's very quick.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks pretty cool. But like I said, gameplay reveal that in the summer. Okay, all right. As long as this doesn't come out anytime before 2026, then I'm good with that.
Yeah, I like to see gameplay.
Let them cook, as the kids say.
Yeah, I like to see gameplay, and then about 12 months or so, they're ready to actually release. And I'm starting to kind of feel, without doing any massive research, that maybe games are going to stop taking forever to make. Maybe it's going to start getting better.
Well,
I don't know.
There's a controversy there. It will be quicker. Development time will be quicker, but that's with the help of AI and less humans involved. We've discussed that ad nauseum. They're already doing it, and which of course we all said it's going to happen. Like I said a million times before, just go to the grocery store. Tell me I'm wrong. When you've got 25 cash registers and there's only one person working now, and everybody's using the self-checkout. The whole industry is heading in that direction too. It will increase now from a gamer's perspective or from a consumer's perspective. People are going to be like, "That's wonderful. I'm going to get a new Gears game every 2 years now." Or I'm going to get a new Uncharted every 2 years because they could just crank them out like a sausage factory. But yeah, it comes at a cost.
Yeah.
So it comes at a cost. So development times will get better, and don't think that it's not going to happen, because every large company, including mine, have all invested heavily in AI. So, and you see it more and more. They're like 50 billion here, 60 billion there, $100 billion. I won't say which company just invested in another massive AI project and this and that. All it is they're spending all this money up front to get rid of your jobs. Because you know what's going to happen? 5 years worth of labor in a huge company like that you'll make your money back of everything you spent on the AI. And that's kind of how these things work, man. It's evil, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw Xbox or Microsoft said that they're working on NPC related quest driven AI stuff. They're going to start it within Minecraft. I'm like, oh, come on. But
I saw that. That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cute. I like that idea.
I think to start with, they're going to go real easy on the AI-related creative stuff, that they want to use the back-end programming, software-related testing stuff on AI before they start pushing stuff to make itself, and then the Geth rise up and attack us. But when you're looking at a game like Dawnwalker, who is the former devs from Witcher 3, these are devs doing what devs traditionally do. And I was saying that the development time, I got to read some details here that Red Wolf sent me. Shout out to him and go check out his channel as well. We've gotten, if you've started building games now in the past couple of years, I think that it's no longer a 5 or 6 year development time, because I think that COVID thing like really stretched out a lot of process and slowed down things, work from home and everything like that. But let me read what Red Wolf said. I'll grab the highlights of this. He says, The Blood of Dawnwalker is the name of the game. New single player third person. Started development over 2 years ago in Unreal Engine 5.
Perfect. Good.
Full gameplay, like you said, in 2025, coming in summer. Focus on narrative sandbox.
Experience.
Well, then I said that. Sorry, Meg. I was talking over Meg. You said maybe it's a smaller experience. Focused on narrative sandbox on 2 playthroughs. No 2 playthroughs will be identical. It takes place in 14th century medieval Europe with a plague. I'm not going to read all of this. The world's been watched by vampires in the shadows. Day and night cycle plays a big role. So that probably means when you go out at night, it's a lot scarier. You just play as Cohen, an energetic Dawnwalker, not human, but vampire or something in between. You fight with swords. You have 30 in-game days and nights to save your family. I'm not going to read any more. There's a couple things, but sounds like Red needs to make a video on this. That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, man. Yeah, okay. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down.
All right,
and I'm you know what? After seeing Nosferatu in IMAX, I can absolutely tell you that there's nothing that we missed more than scary vampires. That's what we need more of in this world. When you're telling stories, make them scary again. You know what I mean? Like all these vampires in the last 10 years are a bunch of croc-wearing, man-bun, goofball. Oh, I'm a vampire.
Doing the gritty.
I'm totally gonna. Yeah, like give me the scary vampires again that are like.
You mean
terrifying.
like Redfall?
Like Redfall. That was terrifying in a whole other way. Yeah, listen, Nosferatu, terrifying vampires, and the vampire from this Dawnwalker trailer there looks scary as hell with the long, scary fingernails and all that kind of stuff. It looked like sinister. The last time I saw a scary vampire, I gotta say, was probably before Nosferatu.
When my mom came over.
30 Days of Night. Anybody see that movie or know the graphic novel? 30 Days of Night is a masterpiece. And that's a masterclass in scary vampirism. Great movie, great graphic novel if you haven't had a chance to go check it out. So, yeah. Anyways, awesome. It looks pretty cool, man. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess we'll hear more in the summer, but people are already buzzing about it right now. We've got Risker for the Biscuit. Thank you so much for the Australian $8. Says, Meg, never said that I've been listening for years, and that's a blatant lie. Hey, chat, he says.
He begrudgingly listens to excellence because it bothers him to listen to the show, because I've listened to him on shows, and he is just awful. So he listens to this, and he's like, oh, man, how can I achieve the greatness of Mag and Colteastwood? But, of course, he never will. It's impossible. If I were him, I would probably just shave his beard, move to another country, change his name, just disappear. Just go to a Buddhist temple somewhere. We'll find you there in 10 years. So right, thank you, Riskit.
Okay. Well, yeah,
by the way,
we appreciate you.
I think it's time to buy some Just for Men, man. That white beard is looking a little ridiculous. You're starting to look like an Australian Santa Claus. All right.
Do they have Santa Claus over there?
Of course they do. They keep all the presents inside of the kangaroo pouches.
Oh, gosh. That was extremely racist.
Oh, 509 Gaming, Meg, The Last Voyage of the Demeter was good. Yes, it was good. It was good. That was
we have a high class chat. You know that? Like they know how to read. They know culture. And we have Risk It in there as well. So Nerds and Other Legends, thank you so much for the chat. It says, I think fears of Xbox dying are due to no exclusives is only because we've been conditioned to think that way, but the new gen of gamer has a new school of thought. Very well said. You know, you can ask my kids, they don't care about the next third-person action adventure stealth over-the-shoulder game with, open world elements, right? Also, it's kind of funny, and maybe we'll get into this a little bit later on in the show, but I do want to say, a lot of people think Xbox is dying, and they've told you don't need the console, and I've said that lots of times, but they've sold half as many PS5s. PS5 is killing it. Like, they're doing amazing in a dying market, which is a console market, which is still doing okay, but it's slowing.
Sony's doing exactly what they said they were going to do. And that's their business model. Microsoft tried it. They're not competing the same way, so they said, "Well, I guess we're going to go off-road." So they started going off-road, and now they're more focused on accessibility of their product. Whereas Sony says, "Listen," and they came out and said it. And Sony came out and said, like, "Listen, our number one focus will always be the console, and that's the way it's going to go." PlayStation 6, same deal. Yes, the games are going to go to PC, but the only ones you're going to get day and date are going to be service games, this and that. That's their business model. That's Nintendo's business model. Microsoft tried. They tried to go toe-to-toe to varying degrees of success and failure. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? This is not working. Let's try accessibility. So now they're working on accessibility and they're getting out. And of course, let's not forget publishing, because the majority of their money is coming from publishing now. And then that's what they're going to do, and accessibility. So it's a different business model. Now, what used to be apples to apples is now apples to oranges. So it's a different thing now. That's the way I see it. And it doesn't really affect my life. Like the way I look at it, wherever I can get it, I'll play it. Like I told you before, I turned on my monitor and I could play Indy Jones right there without this Xbox Series X sitting in front of me. I could play it right on my monitor. And if that improves over time, I'm not going to buy a next-gen Xbox. I'll just play it right here. I got it right there. What do you think they care?
I guarantee you in 5 or 10 years, you'll be able to load up a game on demand and you won't even miss the way it used to be. But
right. But the tech has to get better. Like if the tech is not quite there, let's say next gen, I'll kind of be forced to buy some kind of hardware at that point and say, okay, well, you know what? They're getting there, but they're not quite there yet. So I'll still have to buy another piece of hardware. But if they do, right here in front of my face.
And I'll cap this great comment from Nerds and Other Legends by saying that, yes, Xbox will sell fewer consoles next generation than they even did this generation, which they sold more in last generation than this one. Yes, that'll be the reality. But the other reality is that Xbox will sell millions and millions and millions of next generation consoles in a couple of years, and they'll be just fine because they'll have many other ways to make their money. And I think whatever. At this point, the whole industry has changed, and I've just realized over the years that I can have far more choice and flexibility. And I would also like to eventually look into the numbers of what do people actually leave a platform in mass and move because they think they can get everything in one place? Yeah, maybe. Well, how many?
Maybe, but I don't know. That's something that doesn't happen overnight. Like, when people are like, I'm leaving if Halo goes to whatever. If it goes to play, I'm like, no, you're not. You've got 1,000 games on your Xbox and your ecosystem, this and that. If you plan on continuing to access those games, you're going to stay there. Yeah. Maybe you might branch out and say, okay, you know what? Maybe when a PS5 gets cheap, I'll buy one. That's what I usually did in the other generations before it came on YouTube. I bought a PS4 3 years after the gen started. I got it for cheap. And then I did the same thing with the PS3. Actually, the PS3 I got for free because I traded in. They had this deal over at GameStop. It was like trade in 15 games. I had 360 games, and I got a PS3 with Uncharted for free. But as soon as I got into the YouTube world, and obviously I have to talk about what's going on, I had to purchase everything because otherwise I wouldn't be part of the conversation, right? So now I purchase everything day one. But yeah, I could see that. But people are not going to leave. It's not going to be it's going to be a gradual thing over time, and then it comes down to preference and money. So, like, for example, if I may, let's just say for argument's sake, shut up. Let's say for argument's sake, you go to the PlayStation 6 and that's all you're buying.
Sure.
All right. Okay. Just say that's what you're doing. So now you're going to get your PlayStation games, your third-party games, and you're going to get your Xbox games. So you're going to get them all in one spot. However, the payoff is you're going to have to pay full price for all those games. So that's the caveat there. So for example, when when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out or whatever, you're going to have to pay the full 70. Maybe by that time, it might be even $80. Don't be surprised, folks. Don't be surprised if the prices jump again. So you're looking at, let's say, $75, $80 American. You'll have to pay full price there. If you decide to stay in the Xbox ecosystem, well, then you can play it on Game Pass, right? So it's up to you how you consume it. You will be able to consume it everywhere. It's just your choice financially and aesthetically where you decide where you want to continue to go forward. And guess what? I can absolutely assure you that Sony and Microsoft don't care, because they're getting your money, just like a casino, one way or another, they're getting all your money. While everybody's squabbling down here, they're counting all. They're doing the Scrooge McDuck where he jumps off like the diving board into the big swimming pool of money. That's exactly what is happening while people are fighting and arguing. So just saying.
I think our perception is funky, and we talk about it way too much.
I know. Risk it. He tried to pit me against that blue number. You see that, Holly? Don't. She even knows. She goes. Meg loves me. Of course, I love you, Holly. You're amazing. You're an amazing human being. Risk it, on the other hand, as you can see, is a conniving, sniveling. I think he's a golem. To be quite honest, I think he's a golem. I could totally picture him just sitting in a cave, thinking about Colt and I.
He's taller than you.
Yeah.
Just like
stupid.
That blue number, thanks for the chat, says, what's your favorite flavor of the 4XP? White gummy.
White gummy.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm not saying hands down in a bad way like the other ones are bad. They're all good, but the white gummy is like on another level of excellence. I'm just saying.
Dang. All right.
So if I were to put the other ones at, like, let's say the watermelon, I would put it like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 for the blue raspberry. The white gummy is an 11 out of 10.
Yeah,
I want you to go to 4xpgaming.com and sell them out. Sell them out!
Yeah, shout out to our sponsor. Red Wolf in the chat wants to give out 2 game codes, so I'm going to send these.
Hey!
One for Kingdom Come Deliverance, and one for Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is the best game ever made. I'm going to send that to one of my moderators, and then I will shoot. How do I want to do that? I'm going to ask him if he wants me to just drop them. You're still here listening, Red, but if you want me to just drop one at a time in the chat and people can slap each other over them, I can do that. I'm also trying to do the giveaway for... Oh, I forgot. Oh, my gosh. We're giving away... speaking of the white gummy, we have a winner for the variety pack, and it's King Ram. King Ram has watched the show for a really long time, but he got randomly selected. It was cool when I saw his... I was like, I made his freaking profile picture. He won the variety pack, which gives you a bunch of these joystick pouches in one, so you get each of the flavors in here. King Ram, contact me via the email, which you emailed me like 5-6 years ago. Contact me via email, and I'll send you the contact for them, and you can sign up through there, and they will send you your variety pack. Congratulations. We're also going to be picking a winner. If you write Gravewalker in the chat, we will select a winner for the tub of Gravewalker, which is a white gummy flavor, which happens to be my favorite. So Redwell says, do as you wish, me lord. So I am going to drop Mass Effect Legendary Edition first on Xbox. US only, so if you are outside the US, it won't work. So I'm going to drop it in the chat here. Look at them all writing Gravewalker. Freaking delicious. I'm drinking it right now. This is Mass Effect Legendary Edition, probably the best game ever made. It's in the chat right now. You've probably already seen it because of the latency, but there it is. Go grab it. What a fantastic game. Please don't grab it if you already own it. That would be doofisness. So, 509 says VPN. Where was I? I got to go back to where I was. We are all over the board. All right. Let me get through these. Danny Passion Official, thank you so much for the 5. After CES, I think it's getting a little too late. For XP to enter into the handheld... for Xbox to enter into the handheld market. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Meg and I want to give you guys as much information and power to punch for your time that you spend with us. We appreciate you so much. And sometimes Meg and I forget to take a breath. Hit the like button if you're here, if you're enjoying the show. Thank you guys so much for your support. You make XNC such a great place to hang out every Monday. Thank you. I'm going to read this again. Danny Passion Official says, after CES, I think that it's getting too late for Xbox to enter in the handheld market. Bringing the Xbox experience to PC won't cut it. They need more. I agree, Danny Passion. If they are 2 to 4 years away from a handheld releasing, that's way too late. Mag, where and when is this handheld going to land would be your best prediction?
Well, we keep hearing, we've heard multiple times that like 2026 would be a time that they launch this thing. And then, of course, there was that rumor, which was shot down, that the next gen was coming out first, then the handheld.
Right.
We heard the direct opposite, that the handheld is coming first.
As a bridge.
Then the next gen console. Right? So that would be that. But that's how it seems to be. I still think that that's the path. And those are from very reliable people.
Yeah.
So, and those are people who are there in the camp, so they know what's going on. But so I would still look at the end of next year. So another, basically not a year and a half. It's almost 2 years, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that I would rather maybe there was the rumor, like Mag said, that 2026, at the end of 2026, the next console would come out for Xbox. We don't know if that's true.
Yes.
And Jez didn't exactly debunk it. He was mostly debunking the name Xbox Prime. Like, for some reason, Jez
I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, he either knows what the name of the next project for the console is, which is weird that he knows it already.
I do.
But he knows it's not Prime. So where there's smoke,
you mean the actual under the TV box?
Yes, the console.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I don't know that one.
So what I was saying, right, I know where you're getting with that. What I was saying is, where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe 2026 is when they announce that they've got a handheld coming, and then 2027, or it comes out in 2026, and 2027 is the console. Like, maybe that handheld is a year early or something, but right now the next wave of great handhelds are coming out. The Nintendo Switch, which we're going to talk about a little bit today. I know not a lot of people give a flying crap. I did a poll today, and like only half of you said you want to get one. But the handheld wave is happening right now. And if Xbox is like, we're going to be there in 3 to 4 years, they're, as per usual, not on the mark. So let me move forward so we don't hang on that too much. Duan Austin, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And another one, thank you so much. This Final Fantasy 16 will shadow drop at Direct, says Nate the Hate. Yeah. And I haven't covered this on the show. I covered it in a video. We'll get into that a little bit more. There's not much else to say. Risker for the Biscuit, thanks for the 3, says, how's Indy in the Pro Mag? Huh? Yeah.
Jesus. But between you and Malik tonight, you guys are on fire. Every time I look at the chat, just going off. Relax.
Yep.
Have a beer.
Have you even bought it? Oh, wait a minute. It's not even out yet on the it's
not even out yet.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on Xbox. What the hell are you guys talking about?
We got another one from
I think my prediction is like May for Indy.
Oh, yeah, maybe sooner. I don't know. I have no idea.
You think sooner? Yeah,
I just figured, like, they said spring, spring is like March 15th, 20th or something. I don't know. Who knows? I've heard spring on game releases, and it's like literally the day, like June 19th, the day before.
I know that's still considered spring, and I'm like, come on, man, it's summer.
Yeah, I mean, games don't release June 19th or anything like that, but
Yeah.
How many times have we've heard like spring something, and you're like, spring's almost over, and then the game doesn't come out till like the fall or the next year. Graham Man with the $2 says Bruv Nation, hashtag Bruv Nation.
Yeah, what's up, Graham Man?
Let's talk about Bruv Nation really quick. The cult of Bruv, or Brevity. I haven't really mentioned this, but I thought I would give him a really cool shout out, because this is the British or English content creator that played only on PlayStation, and he discovered the Xbox. And I don't think we talked about it here on the show, but we talked about it on Gaz's show on Saturday. So stuff gets kind of, anyway, he's got a big beard. He's just on camera talking, and he's discovered the wonder of not only the Xbox console and the cool features that make the console really, really good. It's the reason why it sells millions and millions of units, regardless of Xbox saying your cat is an Xbox. He's really enjoying it. He's discovering gears. He's discovering Halo. He's discovering all these games that he didn't play because he's only on PlayStation, and he's made a YouTube channel. And Phil Spencer reached out to him a couple times on Xbox Live and said, hey, cool to hear you're enjoying the platform. You really should play this. You should try this game. And he's got a lot of positive response from the community, but he's also got a lot of negative response from the PlayStation community. It's like, how dare you like a console that has no games, but yet we're here begging every single day for their games to come to our precious ivory tower that is the PlayStation 5. That's how they talk. That wasn't me. I
was going to say, was that from, you've been playing too much Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Take me knickers off, my lord. Anyway, all jokes aside, I don't mean all that. It could be super cringe, but he's got he's got 60,000 views here, 10,000, 15,000 views there, and I'll tell you what, that can change your life when all of a sudden you've got hundreds of people reaching out to you saying, oh, bro, so cool, loved your content. Oh, hey, you should play this. And then you get the head of Microsoft and Xbox Gaming saying, bruv. So shout out to him. I've commented on a couple of his videos. I'm happy for him, man. I'm really happy for him and his family. They're probably seeing a nice little bit of money rolling in for his hard work and his new experience. And I think it's good. I think it's a really cool thing. I don't know, Meg, what do you think? Did you give a crap?
Yeah, of course I did. Jeez, man, just because I wasn't saying anything, I was letting you talk.
Shut up, Mag. No, go ahead. You don't need my permission.
Can you yell at me in your medieval voice again, please?
Speak, my liege.
There you go.
Yeah, because I have to speak up to you because you're of noble blood and I'm not. Yeah.
I am Mag the Third.
Malik says, screw that turncoat.
Yeah. You are but Colteastwood the First.
Plastic.
Yeah, turncoat. It's a wonderful word. It's a great word. I love that word. Turncoat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Any words for the cult of Bruv?
Yes. Keep going. Never stop. Never stop believing in yourself. Don't listen to what anybody's got to say. Just do your thing constructively, of course. Because I'm learning this all myself now. I've been on YouTube for 4 years now. I'm not, whatever. But now I'm actually branching out on my own outside of it. And it's a scary place, man, because I'm not going to lie to you. I come across as this, big brash bravado and this and that, whatever. But I'm actually quite insecure. And it actually, it's a really nervous and scary thing that keeps you up. And you're like, oh, man, I hope this is good. I hope I'm doing okay. I hope this is all right. And then I'm like, God damn it, Mike. My video quality wasn't as good as I wanted it to be and this and that. And it's a very nerve-wracking thing. And then on top of it, then you get people saying, negative things, positive things, whatever. And it's all great. And some of it's scary. But you know what? You just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Absolute bloodbath.
It's a bloodbath. But you know what? Just keep doing it. Keep going. That's all you can do. Sometimes I'll say something, even on this show, and if I say like 2 or 3 lines of something that I know is going to ruffle the feathers of like some people in the chat, I won't look at the chat for 5 minutes because I know that they're saying something, whatever, right? So I'm like, here they're going to say something about what I got to say. But hey, it's a talk show. So we're talking. And so not everything that's going to come out of my mouth is going to make you happy. That's kind of how, life works. So, you know what I mean? It's not like a catering to your every need. It's just a talk show. It's the same as when you watch a movie. You're not going to love every scene in the movie. You're going to be like, oh, that's my favorite scene in the movie or whatever.
I think of
right?
XCC as like Ellen DeGeneres meets the Piers
Morgan
of
all people
show.
to mention her.
I'm trying to think. No, we're like the Ellen DeGeneres meets Piers Morgan show. I'm trying to think of like 2 of the most hated, personalities in the moment. Yeah, that would be us, right?
I'm gonna have, well, in the vein of what we were talking about, the medieval situation. I am going to have you tarred and feathered for even mentioning.
I was playing. Yeah, I can say this. Stocks. I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, and everything is very, very realistic. And I was like dying on my feet, walked all the way out to a camp, and I look at a pot because I'm hungry. I looked at a pot of food and I went over and the A button says steal food. I'm like, okay, no. And I walk over and I'm like, well, maybe if I sleep, I can kind of rest up. And I went over to a bed in like someone's tent and it says sleep. And so I pushed the sleep button. And as soon as I woke up, there's a guy who's like, what are you doing, my liege? And I'm like, and I have options like try to talk my way out of it. Oh, it was just a bit of fun. I was just, having a roll in the hay with your mother. or whatever. He goes off to the stocks with you, to the pillory, and it marches me in the map. It marches me all the way across the map, like for the 40 minutes I walked back to the town I came from, put me in the stocks, and it did like a cutscene of an entire day going by where they're throwing food and spitting at me, and I'm like in my underwear in the pillory, and I'm like,
Jesus,
I have to go all the way back. Holy crap. It's great. It's great.
My God, dude, listen, when you're playing a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance, the best policy is just make sure that all your business dealings are done with the end of a sword. That's pretty much like, that's my go-to. Like, I try to listen. I always try to be the nice guy, and I mean, like, listen, we're gonna do this diplomatically, and then they still push the buttons, and I'm like, okay, fine, you know, I really tried, and then you just push your sword right through their jugular vein, and you call it a day. That's it. Like,
if the
I'm like,
combat
dude,
was only that easy.
I know. I hear the combat is very difficult.
Speaking of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 on Xbox, here is the code. You're already seeing it because of the latency. Go grab that if you have not played it. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm like 6 hours into the first one, and I need to go back and work on it, but I'm in the preview for the second one. It is a medieval simulator in the best way possible. Where was I? Oh, yeah, KY Bob. Shout out to KY Bob. Says 62 months he's been a channel member. Oh, my gosh. Colt and Mag getting down on a Monday. Love to see it.
That's
Eli
right, dude.
has been in an invite-only party here lately. Popularity has its downfalls. Yeah. We haven't talked since... we haven't talked on Xbox since December of last year. I'm pretty sure of it.
23 or December 24?
When Avatar came out, I was playing Avatar. We were on a party chat for hours.
Dude, then that was December 23, Brett.
Yeah, that was over a year ago. That's bad, bro. I gotta hit him up. I hope you're doing well.
Hit him up,
everything's going well for you, bro.
Speaking of which, Noof Nukem's in the chat. Noof, I haven't talked to you in forever, dude. How you doing, man? I mean, I saw you in the chat a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't talked in a long time. So it's been busy, man. You know how life gets.
Yep,
you know,
it does.
Just things happen and this and that. All of a sudden, you're like, oh man, I haven't talked to Noof in like 7 months. Like sat down like proper talk, but that's just kind of how it goes, man. It's a wild world. It's a wild world. But anyways, it is what it is, baby.
It is a wild world, and even the so-called games journalists have been pretty wild too. I've got a news bit that we'll talk about here for a minute about Marvel Rivals is incredibly popular, and it's not slowing down at all. And this Marvel Rivals Intel account, which is very, very popular, has 54,000 followers, reported the revenue made on each platform for Marvel Rivals. And they said $55 million were spent on this free-to-play game on Steam. $27 million were spent on the PlayStation 5. And $2 million spent on Xbox. Now, I'm not showing that on screen. It's hard to explain, but 50 million on Steam, 27 million on PlayStation, 2 million on Xbox.
All right.
They said 100 million overall, including the Chinese NetEase servers via GameLook. Now, this caused a stir of console warring on social media and on the internet and there were articles written about this, because as it looks, like 70 or 80, maybe 90% of the revenue was spent on everywhere but Xbox.
All right.
Everyone's like, yeah, Xbox guys don't buy games. Xbox guys are conditioned not to spend money because of Game Pass. Xbox is dead because they didn't spend any money. And if you look at their actual tweet, it has the additional information saying they interpolated the rest of the revenue that wasn't available to them by looking at user review amounts on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. Meaning that if there were 200 reviews on PlayStation, there were only 2 reviews on Xbox. And so they said, oh, if only 2, those numbers are off, but only 2 people reviewed the game on Xbox, so we'll give them 10% of the revenue that PlayStation had or whatever. And that's basically what it was. And there's not much more to that article other than I would just like to educate these people on how you do actual guesstimations and deductions and interpolated numbers by using proper reason and just using your brain. Because if you're looking at 100 million spent on all these platforms, there's no way that it would be viably possible that only 10% of the revenue would come from Xbox. Because as I said earlier in the show, there are 60 million PlayStation 5s and half as many Xboxes at 30 million. So you would start with half of the money. If there's 30 million spent on PlayStation, it would be somewhere around 15 million spent on Xbox. It just didn't make any sense. And everyone was running with this, Mag, like it was gospel. Oh my gosh, no one spends money on Xbox, even though Marvel Rivals is #1 far and above Fortnite on Xbox right now. So I'm sick of that crap, bro.
That's I saw somebody talking about it today earlier, discussing it and whatever, and it just didn't really do anything for me. I really didn't care, and I was just like, okay, I understand though, but like if the numbers were now, the thing is, if you look at the situation where people looking at it, like developers or other studios looking at it, they're like, okay, there's a significant drop off in terms of engagement on that console. Let's say in the future, some may consider not even bringing it over there.
Yeah.
Now, but when you got a free-to-play model, something like that, it behooves them to put it everywhere because it's going to be on the Switch too as well. You know what I mean? At some point. Now, my question is did it also 100% will be on Switch too? And now the thing is, I was going to say, is it on Xbox One and PS4?
Nope.
So it's only next gen.
Yeah. Okay. So it's easy to see that if, I mean, you don't know how many players are. Nobody says how many players are on PS5 or Xbox. So they use the user review number to make a ratio or a proportion. And Malik says it's called I took statistics in college. Absolutely. It's exactly what it is. And I have an engineering background. I took engineering in college. This is what you do. You have to make a proper guesstimation of numbers based off of information that's available to you. Not just one metric that is, I mean, you don't even know. On PlayStation, it may be easier or more accessible to make user reviews. And on Xbox, it's a few extra clicks and no one does it as much as they do on PlayStation. It's asinine. I couldn't believe it. It's kind of a dumb thing to complain about, but I thought I'd bring it up because, justice.
Yeah, I was literally working out while that came up in conversation, and I was just like, okay. I'm like, are people going to start? And from both sides, I mean, it's not even just the one side. Like, people are going to start following like finances as opposed to like the games and consoles and reveals and this and that. I'm like, yeah, it's so insane that's like the new. Like, remember what used to be the thing was List Wars. Remember List Wars was the big thing from like mid last gen. To up until about 2024, 2020, about till 2024 was like the list wars. You go in the chat and then you argue with somebody, and then all of a sudden people would just list all the games, and then another guy would say, "Yeah, well, I got this," and then they would list all their games. And now it's finances, and I'm like,
you know why?
Like, why does everybody seem to have lost the plot here? Like, aren't we here for games?
That's exactly why they're doing it, Mag. Because they know that Xbox has the games. The Xbox has no games narrative is long gone. It's been gone for 3 or 4 years, right?
And everybody gets to enjoy.
Now
them.
They're pushing my sales figures, or my Game of the Year awards because they know Xbox has the games and they are rating as equally high as PlayStation across the board. And so now they're saying we sell more consoles, we sell more copies. Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
I don't really care either way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, even like on the Xbox side of things, I don't care how much they make. They're the biggest company on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, literally. I'm like, let them do whatever. I'm not there for that. I'm not a stockholder for Microsoft. I don't like Microsoft as a company at all. But I'm there for the games. I'm there for Xbox. Not
somebody
for Microsoft. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm there for the division of Microsoft, not for the whole company. And so therefore I'm there for what they offer as a product because I'm a consumer. And so you give me good games, that's what I'm there for. Same thing with Sony, same thing with Nintendo.
Yeah, and I'm this far in with owning both consoles that the console and the performance isn't as much of a discussion as it used to be. When it's brand new, like, it's a big discussion, but it's tempered out so much to where I'm excited about the games more than anything because
but like I said, isn't that what we're here for?
That is.
Like, I'm excited. I'm here for Doom. I'm excited for Doom. I'm excited for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
I'm excited for South of Midnight, Ghost of Yotei. And if the
Yes.
game is good, you're going to get my money. Right? I have everything here. It's sitting right in front of my face. Well, on the other side of this camera. But you know what I mean? It's all here. And so therefore, if you release something great, you're going to get my money. That's just the way the real world works. Like, I don't understand how this is any different than anything else in the world.
I think
if you offer a great product, you go and buy it.
Like I said, I don't think there's people leaving in mass, and I don't think there are that many people that are worried about who sells more, who's most popular. It's probably just a small microcosm of people, but somebody told me it was hard for them to get excited about Developer Direct, knowing that those games would eventually or are already coming to PlayStation. And I'm like,
but what is that? How does that affect your experience, though?
I think people may have lost the plot, or they've just been so used and conditioned to saying, I get this and you don't. And
okay, let's just say, like, you get like if I'm playing, whatever, South of Midnight, okay? I'm playing South of Midnight, and I'm having a great time doing it or whatever. And then you get like a prominent PlayStation guy is playing it, whatever, a year from now, 6 months from now, whenever. And how does that affect my experience? At all. Like that is literally the definition of living rent-free in someone else's head. Or they're living rent-free in your head. It's like, why do you care what they're doing? Like, shouldn't you be just worrying about what you're doing? If you're having a great time with the game and you're playing it on your console of choice, who the hell cares what the other guy's doing? If they're doing it as well, let them have their that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be there, Mag, I talk about it because I used to be one. Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't work with the males because I used to be one.
Oh, it was a drive-by fruiting. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. My contact's gonna unfold. Oh, Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
Hello.
Robin Williams is hello. He's so amazing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's great. Yeah, I love it. And I appreciate all of you for putting up with our nonsense most of the show.
What nonsense? This is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Listen, look
stuff.
Steven Forza guy. Listen, this poor guy's been trying to get me to play games with him all week. He's finally in the chat now. And yeah, okay, risk it. I see that. Listen, I've been so busy and so insane, and with like trying to get videos off the ground, trying to figure out the technology of how to do a YouTube video properly, doing the live streaming, and my actual job. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just so much. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, we'll play COD tomorrow. We'll play Call of Duty tomorrow. We'll do this and that. We haven't done squad. And then it just goes day after day after day. So I told him I'd shout him out on the show. All right, so there you are, dude. You got it.
That's cool, man. Because it's you'll break some eggs. You'll put out some stuff with mistakes and issues, and you'll iron them out. Like I put out videos. Hey, they're finally at 60 frames, and like for 4 videos, they're still at 30. Like it just you have to iron out the problems. You'll get there, and I'll help you. But
yeah,
let's see. I want to talk next about. Yeah, that was a Marvel Rivals lie. I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch briefly, but let me read a couple supers here because you guys have been fantastic tonight. Andy Hart with a £5 super. Thank you so much. Says, good morning, Colt and Mag. Colt, how are you liking the Quest 3? I personally love the mixed reality apps and games. Shout out to Game Seeker for getting me the Quest 3. It is way nicer than I expected. With VR, I had this expectation of what games look like or they felt like, and it's surpassed my expectations. I've got the new Assassin's Creed game and Batman Arkham Shadows, and I need to get back on this thing, but with Christmas, like I've been trying to do the Kingdom Come preview thing, but yes, I need to get back on it. Every time I look at it there, I'm like, crap.
I'm scared to play the Batman Arkham Shadows because I'm just afraid I'm gonna like knock out my wife as she's like walking across the room with like she's carrying like a bag or something and she's getting ready for work and I just boosh.
Yeah.
In slow motion.
My son and I were trading back and forth playing the game, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to punch anything. And he'd be sitting on the couch going, you're over by the chair. I'm like, okay. And I didn't get motion sick. I was so surprised. I thought for sure, knowing me, like if I try to look at Twitter while my wife's driving, I'm like, it's great. Thank you, Andy Hart.
You know what's funny? Even as an older guy, now that I'm turning 50 very soon in about 3 weeks, a month, the motion thing. I don't get motion sickness. I don't get any of that stuff. I got 130 FPS blazing in each eyeball in VR or whatever. No problems whatsoever. My brother and my cousin and some of my other friends and whatever, they play the VR and they're ready to vomit after about 3 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I have no problem with this. Mind you, I also play Call of Duty at blazing speeds. So like even my wife, like when she's watching me play Call of Duty, she's like, I literally cannot watch you play. Because you move so fast and so ridiculous. She goes, I want to throw up just watching you. And I'm like, yeah, because it's just like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. That's why I won't even waste my time 1v1ing Risk It, because it's just a waste of his time. He's just gonna die instantly. So what's the point?
Yeah, if you ever want to feel good about yourself, play against me in Call of Duty, because I don't play it anymore. Speaking of Risk It, thank you so much for the $8 super.
Hey.
He said, I want to shout out Bushido. I didn't know this. He says he's been in the hospital for months, and it's been a long road. He's home, wanted to show some rare appreciation. Bushido he had a big... Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead. You probably know.
I was going to say he's been such a big presence in the community. Like all the shows I've done with Boom, whenever we did Primetime Gaming, and even Gaming After Dark, and of course this show. Like he's always there, man. The name is always there, and even on Twitter and everything else. And
I've been in party chats with him for hours too. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, and as soon as he mentioned it, I'm like, wait a minute, you're right. I haven't seen, like, when you get so busy with life and everything else, and and you says like, oh my God, I haven't seen that name in a while. So, oh well, listen, man, Godspeed. I hope everything is great. Your recovery is going well. Whatever ended up happening. So, God bless. And come on, man, we need you back in this chat, all right?
Yeah, so if I remember right, he had one of those surgeries that extends it to like there, something like that. I think that's what he's doing. No, but he'll be good. He's a good dude. Grandman, thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, do you think PlayStation will remain as a traditional console next generation? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be
there's no
just question. Like Xbox. Sorry, Mag. It will be heavily powered by AI hardware compute and software compute. I think there'll be a moderately great increase in native or I guess primitive hardware that we're used to. It'll be really great, but it'll have that extra push that takes it to the next level. Same thing as Xbox. It'll be mostly interpolated. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be really good. And PC's already doing it right now. The 5000 series cards from NVIDIA, which we don't talk about on this show because you guys would fall asleep. A lot of the kick and stuff they're doing is what I just explained. It's just taking it over the top. And the best part, Meg, is it's brought the price down because software and AI is doing some of that extra heavy lifting. So the future of a more affordable handheld and console that is more powerful is going to kind of alleviate that, oh my gosh, can I upgrade next gen? What do you say, Mag?
No, I'm just going to say Risk It for the Biscuits losing his mind because you didn't read the last part of the super chat.
I know I didn't. He says, Meg sucks.
There you go.
We're having a tender moment.
You got
Meg
your money's
sucks.
worth. Yeah, you got your money's worth. There you go, buddy. Yeah, I do suck.
One more from 78 Incorporated US Gaming. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you. 2025 is going to be a good year. We have so many games. He says, to hell with console sales and wars. Give me the damn games to play, and it doesn't matter where. And there you go.
It doesn't matter where. And you know what? There's another thing that I just gave up on giving a crap about is people trying to come after me because if I'm playing, let's say, a third-party game. Because, well, on the PlayStation 5 Pro as opposed to Xbox, and I'm like, I'm playing wherever I want to play. So leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. I'm not going to bother you where you are and this and that. By the way, there's another little simple fact that I don't have to waste my time telling scumbags is that I game share with my wife because she has a PlayStation, right? So if I buy a third-party game, instead of buying it twice, I buy it on PlayStation so she gets to play it, right? So we split it. So we do things like that. So, but I don't waste my time telling people that. But I just told people that now. But the people in this chat aren't scumbags, except for Risk It, maybe Magnum on a bad day. No, I got to shout out Magnum though, man. You know what? Every single time I got a live stream, Magnum shows up right away. He's like either the second or third person in the chat. He always shows up to my live stream. So shout out to Magnum. But
you know
anyways,
what that means? That means they
Large
actually
condoms?
like you. They actually like
Magnum.
you. Yeah, they like Magnum. He's a good dude, and if someone who shows up like early in your chat or shows up and watches every video and just says, "Hey, awesome" or whatever. Like that person is cool, man. They
and of course, Magnum right away. He goes, Mag blaming his wife for being a pony.
yeah, absolutely. You know, you were saying that you have kind of a soft shell. I don't remember how you said it, but I've uploaded.
I'm not always what I seem to be.
Sure. Yeah, and I've seen some of it behind the scenes. Like, oh, Mag has a little bit of a soft side.
Dude, it's a lot of it is self-defense for insecurities and anxiety. So I'm not shy to say it. I'll tell you,
Mag. Let me speak to you only. Chat, you guys go do something for a minute here. Mag, I'll tell you, I've uploaded 650 videos. I've done almost, I've probably done 500 live streams or maybe 2,000 live streams here and other places. And I get nervous every time I upload a video, every time I set up a thumbnail and send that out and hope that people like it and hope it does well and hope people, don't think I'm crazy on the ideas I'm talking about. And when you make content, bro, and you feel a little bit insecure or you have to kind of like weave through the comments that sound a little bit negative or dismissive, bro, I'm right there with you. I got your back. You just keep doing what you're doing because I know this chat here that's not listening to us right now. I know this chat that's been in the show. They think you're almost halfway decent too.
Hey, that's a good start. Rouge Luge says we're still here. You were supposed to leave. I don't know what happened, but he's still here.
You're supposed to put earmuffs on. Mom and Dad are talking.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, I'm not shy about any of that stuff. And I got to tell you, with the community and as close as we are and all the people I've talked to over the years and this and that, people reached out to me and tell me, some people tell me their stories and whatever. I get back to every single person. I never, ever ignore anybody or walk away from anything and whatever. And a lot of people talk to me and say, hey, man, I have this, that, and the other thing going on in my life. And, thank God for what you do. You make me laugh with your videos. And I love, and then what you and Colts do on XNC and this and that, whatever. And they say all these great things. And it's says you just help brighten a little bit of my life where I'm going through all this and that, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And don't think just because we're sitting here talking and we're laughing and we're doing silly things and and shaking bottles and being ridiculous and doing Miss Doubtfire things, quotes. We're still people at the end of the day that have thoughts, feelings, and everything else. And like I said, and I'm not shy about my issues. I have extreme anxiety issues, and as a result, I'm really, really insecure. And a lot of that gets portrayed through comedy, gets portrayed through even sometimes, even if it's just for fun, insults, aggressiveness, bravado, that kind of thing, an outward personality, almost like an alpha male kind of vibe to it. I am none of those things. I'm not faking what I am now. I've always been this way. I've always been like the class clown and that kind of thing or whatever. And yeah, there's time to take things seriously, but a lot of times not. But there's something deep down, and I'm not shy to talk about it. So if anybody else has things they want to talk about and whatever else, never be afraid to talk about it with people here, man, because we're family here. Anyway, let's get back into the show, baby.
Yeah, appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to a couple people in the chat. There's probably a lot who aren't actively writing in the chat, but people like Risk It and KY Bob, Red Wolf, That Blue Number. There are a lot of people that are in the chat that also put their guts on the line to make content or go live, and shout out to them as well. When you're out there doing it, we appreciate it as well. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 because I'll just say briefly that Nate the Hate, he believes that this Wednesday or Thursday, Tom Warren says Wednesday, he says this Thursday, Nintendo is going to reveal the Nintendo Switch 2. He's confident that's what it's called, Nintendo Switch 2. It's larger, it's more powerful. I will tell you from what I've heard them talk about, this thing will not look like on paper like it's very powerful, but there is a massive third-party publisher support coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. It has modern NVIDIA tech instead of the old Tegra NVIDIA mobile phone tech that was in the original Nintendo Switch. This thing will be slightly more capable, but as we talked about 10 minutes ago, it will have that AI oomph that will make it run modern games. Now, I'm going to read off a couple of possible games that are coming that are a little bit older to the Nintendo Switch. He says that AC Mirage, because Assassin's Creed Black Shadows. well, we're out of here. Thank you. That was a Freudian slip. Gosh. And that's when they brought down a show. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to play Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows is probably not ready for a port for Switch 2. This reminds me of the most famous flubs on live TV. Anyway, The Division 2, which is very old, Rainbow Six Siege, Metal Gear Solid Delta, which has not yet come out on all consoles, is set to come out on the Switch 2, according to him. Resident Evil, the latest Resident Evil, Cyberpunk, and Elden Ring. So you can see right now that there are games we played over the past 4 years that will probably all of those and games in the next couple of years would totally play on the next Nintendo Switch. And yeah, I think that's going to be the reality. A lot of third-party publishers are ready to make the Nintendo Switch another place they can sell a crap ton of copies of the game. The Nintendo Switch will put an adrenaline boost into an already great fledgling, that's not the right word, a really great games industry that needs a little extra push. I think that's what we're going to see with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I think we only have about a few more days to see that take place.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
We already know, for the most part, we've discussed it on this channel several times, and I have anyway, is that several of the Microsoft studios have already had Switch 2 developer kits for quite some time now, and have been working on a lot of ports going over there, including Call of Duty being one of them. Will make its way over there at some point, which leads me to believe which leads me to question, leads me to question what kind of technology do they have in there. I do not have any inside knowledge of the specs of this product. I don't know how it's going to run, what it's running on. I don't know any of that stuff because I don't have any Nintendo people. I have nobody on that side of the fence. But on the Xbox side of things, on the Microsoft side of things, on the PlayStation side of things, a lot of the studios have had the developer kits for quite some time. And as each one would come in, I would get another notification from one of them saying, hey, my blank redacted studio just got our dev kits for the Switch 2 and this and that. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I just heard that blank redacted also got their developer kits last week and this and that. So they're out there, and there's going to be a lot of third-party support, which is great for Nintendo, great for the gamers over there, and it's and it only makes sense because I heard Reforged Game was talking about it the other day. He was talking about Bobby Kotick saying that his biggest regret was not putting Call of Duty on PlayStation when you got 150 million consoles out there.
Oh, on Switch.
That is
on Switch.
What the hell did I just say?
Well, I knew what you meant. You said PlayStation, but yeah.
Oh,
Switch.
shoot. No, shoot. Sorry, excuse me. I meant Switch. Sorry, my bad. I had PlayStation on my brain. Ponybot and all that. Anyways, so Bobby Kotick, I didn't even know that quote, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, because like I said, Reforge brought it up, and he's like, yeah. He goes, Kotick said his biggest regret was not putting Call of Duty on the Switch, and I'm like, well,
phones. What were they doing? I didn't hear that quote either.
150 million consoles out in the wild, and you didn't put Call of Duty on there. You could have easily sold another 10, 15 mil copies right off the rip.
You know what the Switch 2 is going to do? It's going to decimate PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. It's going to soar above and beyond.
You know what? It's going to be a different road. It's going to sell incredibly well, as Nintendo always does. It's going to get a lot of support. But the thing is it going to get the engagement? Because everybody. Listen, I'm only bringing this up. Here's the thing. I know that the exclusives sell incredibly well, anywhere from 25 to 50 to 60 million copies for every one of their first party games, the big ones anyway. But you look at the other things, like everybody I know has a Switch, nobody's playing it. It's just sitting there. You know what I mean? And then they wait for the next big game. They buy the next big game, and then the thing just collects dust for a year. But unless you're a real Nintendo head.
I don't know. Outside of our community, I'm sure the Nintendo Switch has tons of people buying and playing all the time.
They do.
It's the number one console in Japan, and there are a lot of people in Japan spending money on Nintendo. So,
well, you mean like you get the Nintendorks that they'll buy everything on Nintendo, whatever, and they don't play anything else. And I'm like, all right, well,
here's the thing.
Sorry, I said that lovingly, by the way. I didn't mean that insultingly.
Remember, you've said on the show many times that Nintendo has games that sell 10 to 20 times more than any PlayStation game or Xbox game, right?
Yeah, easily.
Now, in the future, they're also going to have some of the biggest and brightest multi-platform ubiquitous titles, like the next Call of Duty, maybe Borderlands 4 is going to be on there. I don't know how that would do. But, I'm just like, we could just name all these games. And I think that would do incredibly well. Yeah, and we've heard that a lot of Xbox game studios and their affiliated studios also have a Switch 2 dev kit. So they're ready. I mean, it's going to be pretty normal to hear a game coming to Xbox Game Pass PC console and Switch 2, and then some or many of them on PlayStation. And you know what that's going to do for Xbox?
Yeah.
Take it to the limit.
Whatever you got left
disconnected.
over.
We're reconnecting. Hang on a second. I don't want you to get... It's fine. I don't want them to miss what you were saying. Hold on. We are back on. Okay. What were you saying?
We're back on.
I said take it to the limit, and then what'd you say?
Yeah. Of course, everything's going to be everywhere. And of course, they're going to support Nintendo as much as they can because there's still that's a huge ecosystem over there. And the thing is, it's not like Microsoft said, here you go, sweetheart. Here's $82 billion. And whatever left over, you and your brother go buy yourself some ice cream. Okay, sweetie? No, they want their $80 billion. Plus, they want another $200 billion on top of that for profit for that investment. So they're going to be like, no, we gave you $80 billion. I want $300 billion. Yeah. I want whatever. I want a continuous stream of money for the next 25 years or whatever else. And that's how they're going to look at it. Now, one little interesting side note here is who said it here in the chat? Who said it here? I didn't want to lose it because it's important. Damn it, I lost it. It was important. Give me a second. It's talk about something for a second. I'll find him.
I was just going to say
Little Evil.
But as soon as I sang "Take It to the Limit," it disconnected for a second, which is that was the YouTube mod. That was the YouTube bots, demonetizing the show for using a licensed song.
Oh,
Because they sounded so much like the real song. Who sings that, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay, go to your thing before you forget.
I was going to say Little Evil here says on the thing, he goes, Nintendo Online is crap, I hear. You're not wrong, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the
That's
thing is,
right.
it's important. If they want to, and I'm sure they really worked on it. I'm not being facetious. I'm being serious here. I can guarantee you that if they want this thing to work next generation, they want that third-party support like Call of Duty and everything, for example, guaranteed they've been doing a hell of a lot of work and a lot of collaboration with the companies in order to make sure that the online is a hell of a lot better and a lot easier to negotiate this generation than it was last generation.
Yeah.
So I think that they've done a massive, my guess is they've done a massive overhaul of the online. Now, interesting, by the way, I also found out, now whether this is true or not, let's see if this is a thing. So let's just put a little bookmark next to this, that there's a possibility that the Switch 2, you'll be able to utilize, like your cell phones and everything else will be controllers as well. So you'll be able to play multiplayer with your friends, like 3-4
with
people.
With touchscreen?
And yeah, you can have two people
cool.
playing on the Switch, and then you can have two people on their cell phones.
I like
being able to play like a Mario Party or whatever else. So your phone is now a controller and whatever else, right? So that would be really cool if that turns out to be true. I did hear it from some pretty deep inside people, so we'll see if that came out. It's not a scoop or anything like that. Not like my Halo Master Chief one that everybody stole.
Bookmarked.
But anyways, yeah.
Welcome to Errol Choas. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button. But let me sidestep here because Mag just ended up doing a really great illustration of how incredibly successful the games industry is going to be moving forward to, thanks to the Switch and everything else going on. Vertigo says the next Xbox is going to flop, dude. You know what? Nope. Nope. Sorry.
What it's
going to do is it's going to flop in your perception of its comparison to the Switch and the PlayStation. You're going to say it's going to flop, but Microsoft and Xbox are going to sit there and get, the next generation console probably only sell 30 million the whole entire generation. And you know what? They're going to price that thing so they don't lose money this time.
They're not going to lose money. I'm telling you, they're done losing money.
They're done losing money. And I'll tell you another thing. Vertigo, if Vertigo could have his way, and I said this last week, but he would want Burger King to close up shop because they can't even sell the 4 times amount that McDonald's does. So he wants McDonald's just close up. I'll give you one more nugget of advice here, all right? The wonderful, all-loving Sega Dreamcast that everybody thought was amazing and floundered and then canceled everything for Sega. That thing topped out at 9 million units sold. The Xbox has 30 million sold. And the whole entire time, Sega had great, incredible games and exclusives. Xbox Series X has never had exclusives. They've told you ever since that console came out, like I always say, you don't need to buy this console. You can play everything on PC, and now it's going to PlayStation. So I think you need to prepare yourself for a future where Xbox sells a certain amount, a menial amount of consoles, and they are killing it in the games industry. And right now, if you're a diehard PlayStation fan, thank your lucky stars that Xbox came in and is going to save you for most of 2025, because right now they only have Ghost of Yotei at the end of the year, which I'm going to play day one, looks amazing, and Death Stranding, Sex on the Beach with sand in your ass crack.
Well,
which I'm going to play that too.
Colt. Well, actually, we're past the 5-minute mark of the show. You can actually swear now because it won't get demonetized. In the same Jesus, man, I wasn't expecting that. I think Cole drank too much of that 4XP. Might have thrown some vodka in there too. Listen,
people just need to get over the nonsense of gonna flop, console war over. Like the console war, it doesn't even exist at this point.
It doesn't exist anymore for Microsoft. It's done. They're going a different route, and they're going to offer you products wherever you want to do it. It will sell less. We know that, but the access will be more. So, does that make sense? Did that come out right? There'll be more access, but less. But the thing is, the consoles will be expensive. There's no question about that. If you're looking at a box under the TV, next generation, most likely you're going to have $700-800, and it's going to be for the discerning customer who wants the power and everything else. Because, like I said, ever since Apple started doing what they're doing, no one's going to lose money on the product anymore, right? So it'll still be available. So yeah, sure. Let's say they top out at whatever 35 million this generation, right? Because it's just kind of it's done. It's done selling. It's not selling anymore. Let's say you might get a couple more mil before the end of the gen. Next gen, you might get 25 mil. Right? Maybe you know what I mean? And like you might get 25 mil as people start to go, you know what? I really want a PlayStation for $800. There's an Xbox for $800. I can't afford both. I'll buy that or you just buy the Xbox because if you're a diehard Xbox, I'll just buy the Xbox thing, and then maybe down the road I'll buy a cheaper PlayStation when it goes on sale or this and that. And you know what I mean? So everybody has those options. They're all there. Now, I hope I'm saying this right. Sis for Chow in the chat says, he goes, "Hey Mag, I don't mind people on PlayStation playing Xbox games. I just don't want Xbox to stop making consoles or my library will go away." I can absolutely assure you that no matter what happens, as long as Microsoft as a company is still standing, you will never lose your library. It will always be available at one point or another. There's a legality to that too. They can't just wipe out your a product that you have purchased. They would literally lose in a class action lawsuit.
There's a better way to say that, and it would be that Xbox, the name Xbox and Xbox Live would have to be gone, and it would take an act of a crazy act for that to go away.
It would have to be like a meteor, like from outer space, like literally hit Redmond, and then like and even then, it doesn't even make a difference. It's just like it'd still be there.
78 Incorporated US Gaming says your Xbox library would not go away. At the very worst, in the near future, all of your purchases of your Xbox versions of your games would be transitioned into another playable version within your Microsoft account. I mean, that'd be the absolute worst case scenario. But like I said, Meg and I both said it. That Meg said 25, I said maybe 30 in a whole generation, next generation. Let's say they only sell 25 million consoles. That's plenty to keep themselves moving forward into the next transition. The
other thing is, don't get it twisted, though. One last thing I was going to say about that same subject. Don't get it twisted. Game Pass does not belong to you. So don't get that in your head that like, oh, well, we have, we're paying for this, that, and the other. If you actually read the fine print of those, they can remove that anytime they want. And then at that point, they have to honor the end of your payment. And then that's all that they're obligated to do. And that disappears forever. But things that you have actually purchased and have proof of purchase, and it's in the cloud and it's downloaded to your hardware or whatever, there's always records of everything that you've purchased and all that. It's all there. Game Pass does not constitute any of that either. Like Spotify, you cancel Spotify, you don't get to listen to your tunes anymore. That's just the way it goes. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory for most people. But you'd be amazed that when people get caught up into that subscription service model, they think they own that now. You know what I mean? All these are my games.
You can feel like it.
So
sure,
it feels like it, but you have to remember they ain't yours. So
yeah, I'm like I didn't buy Forza Horizon 4. I don't own it. It's gone. All those weeks, I was like, maybe I should just buy it. I'm like, no, I already have 5, and then 6 is going to come out. And then I'm like, but if I want to drive around in Britain, because I only
Isn't that funny?
owned it. I only owned it on Game Pass. I never bought it because I got it on Game Pass, day and date, and had it for years.
There's a lot of games. Yeah, well, there's a lot of games I thought I owned.
Yeah.
And then I went hunting, and I'm like, where did fill in the blank go? And I'm like flipping through, like looking at the tiles, and I'm like,
Great
oh
game,
yeah,
by the way, fill in the blank.
fill in the blanks. I never owned the damn thing, and I'm like, oh, there you go. But you get it in your head, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're gonna have people. Let's just say, for argument's sake, they just cancel Game Pass when they're like, yep, we're done with it. You're just gonna have to purchase the old-fashioned way. People would be flipping out, thinking they're like, those are mine, and they're like, actually, what?
Also, I've talked to people that know better things than I do. Like, what are the chances that Game Pass has a price increase? What are the chances that Game Pass isn't successful and they have to shut it down? And they said they might raise it a couple dollars here or there in the near future, or maybe later in the future. But Game Pass is doing really well right now. So, KY Bob.
I already told you guys. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. KY Bob with the 5. Unfortunately, AI is NVIDIA's baby. AMD is so far behind that it's the hardware that those consoles will be on. Switch 2 will be the real show of AI. Yeah, because KY Bob's right. NVIDIA DLSS is probably 2 times better at least than the highest FSR4 on AMD. But, FSR4 is doing really great things right now. And then when you talk in a couple of years on the next piece of hardware for consoles and handhelds, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Sorry. Danny Passion Official, thank you for the 2. Says, Colt, 14 years of filming and editing, same thing happens to me. Yeah, every time you got to send something out to somebody, send it out to the world. If you're a person who creates things, like every time it's nerve-wracking when you send stuff out. Appreciate you. Risk It, thank you for the Australian $3. Said, he's not decent, that's a lie. Risk It, you're great. Steven OG Xbox, thank you for the $2. Says, sup, gentlemen, how do you feel about the TikTok ban? I would like Mag to take this because I don't think it's going to happen, but
I don't think it's going to happen. I did hear from some rumblings from some pretty big people that it's no longer a rumor. It seems to be the motion is moving forward. That looks like Elon Musk is eyeballing TikTok right now.
Gosh.
And I just found that out 2 hours ago. And some big people are reporting that. So
I feel like
we'll see.
I feel like the politicians were like strong-arming and threatening to ruin everybody and take that away so that somebody would step up to the plate.
Yeah, it looks like Elon is one of the people eyeballing it right now. What's his name? Mr. Beast. I mean, maybe he's joking, but he says, fine. He goes, if no one's going to buy TikTok, then I'll buy it. He's thinking about it. But the funny thing is, and this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about TikTok, is that, or they don't really understand anything about money and business, is that even if you bought TikTok, the Chinese still, the ones that they're afraid of spying on everybody, the Chinese are still going to own a significant chunk of the company and still going to have access to it the exact same way that you did before.
Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of the security risk by having somebody else running security protocols.
But that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Yeah. The security risk will always be there. They're watching. Oh, what do you think? The Americans are any different, or the Canadians, or the EU, or the Australians?
I flew over a foreign country this morning and took pictures.
They're all spying on you. No matter what you do, you know that every single thing I look up. What do you think? The Canadian government's not watching me? The Americans aren't. What? The CIA and the FBI knows exactly what Colt Eastwood looks up on Google every single day.
Whoa. They do?
Especially that midgets and bikinis thing, yeah. Anyways, yeah, they know about it, Colt.
Midgets on bicycles?
It's not just me. It's not just me that knows about it. Now the FBI knows that that's what you look up. Anyways, they know what you're doing. So just give up on that stuff. What are you going to do? What are you going to be, John Connor? You're going to go off the grid so the Terminator doesn't get you? You're going to, you know what I mean? You're gonna break into veterinarian clinics so you can fix your wounds. Give me a break. They're watching everything. If you have a cell phone, they're watching everything you do. The fact that Colt Eastwood and I are talking right now, they're watching the internet. Yeah, the CIA picks out keywords of everything that you say. That's why you're not supposed to say certain things on YouTube and this and that, whatever, right?
Oh,
that's why we have to say strawberry milkshake. Yeah, I know we're dead.
Strawberry milkshake.
Yeah, that's why we have to say strawberry milkshake. For everybody who knows what that means, we know what the code is. We're not allowed to say that word anymore because then they start flagging you. Oh, jeez.
Gosh. Narco94, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I genuinely think Kingdom Come Deliverance will be one of the best games of 2025. What do you guys think? There is a large barrier to entry and learning curve, but I mean, it's high quality from what I played so far. So it'll be up there, man. I met the guys at PAX. One of the developers looks like he came from the 1400s. Burly, big pointy beard. It looked like a Viking. Although Vikings, it's Bohemia, but He looked awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
Warhorse Studios awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it'll do really well.
Are you going to get into it? I mean, it's going to be a packed February. Are you going to put it on the list?
No, not yet. I think it's one of those ones that I'm gonna just put like a little asterisk next to, and just be like, you know what? If it goes on sale later in the year, maybe when I get some time, like I know it sounds crazy, but like next winter or whatever else. But we're gonna be so backed up with games that it's gonna be one of those ones that it's gonna put on the favorite list or whatever, right? Like the wish list.
It's crazy.
And then just leave it there, because I've done that. Like even like Silent Hill 2. I put on a wish list last year. It's still sitting there. I haven't bought it yet. So it's still in the list. You know what I mean? I got Little Nightmares 3 on there that hasn't even come out yet. It was supposed to come out 2 years ago. That's still on the wish list. And then I'll put Kingdom Come Deliverance on there. But yeah, I understand that there is a bit of a barrier and a little bit of a learning curve in there. And it's not as action oriented as people think. It's more like literally of like a medieval simulator of sorts. So it's a lot more involved than just, it's not God of War. You're not walking around with an axe hacking and slashing everything and just, you know what I mean, and picking up collectibles off the ground.
You don't walk around and loot and knock out enemies here or there and hunt animals while you're like, it's not an organic game like that. I'm gonna wonder here if I can engage audience. Start a question and answer. I've never done this before. I'm putting in the chat. What's a popular game? Does that mess up the chat when I do that?
No, it's there. I see it. What's a popular game you'll have to play later because there are so many games?
Yeah,
I'm going to put Assassin's Creed on there. I'm going to put
Monster Hunter Wilds is
on there.
One of mine.
I'm not a Monster Hunter guy, so
I cannot wait a millisecond to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, and oh man, I cannot wait to play as Yasuke now. The game looks so good. Can't wait.
I hate playing as tanks.
Bro, I
just want the option.
You know what? Well, I mean, they said they added more stealth to them in the stuff they've been doing in the during the delay, but I usually don't play as a tank. That's why I'm looking forward to it. Huh?
He's the size of a giraffe.
Yep.
What?
Well, you can crouch in the grass, but then they can still see his like head poking up. So
I think the grass would have to be 11 feet tall.
Bro, you can swing an overhead swing and just break somebody in half. And then say, go find that half, and then you go get that guy over there.
I just don't like playing as tanks. That's all it is.
Well,
it's got nothing to do with anything else in the discourse and all the other stuff. It's literally, I just don't like tanks. I've never played as a tank character in any game. I've always hated it. Like even Borderlands, they give you the different like styles and whatever. And they have the tank character.
Hey, Brick was still fun. I didn't want to play as him either.
I can't do tanks, man.
I'm going to talk you into playing that one sooner than later. JC in the chat says someone said they spent $60,000 on a PC. No, they didn't.
Unless you outline it with gold or like diamonds or something.
Yeah. Or if it was like 1982 and, and it had 5 megs of RAM back then.
Dude, my PC Junior in 1982 cost like $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. And that was like in 1982 for a PC Junior with 128K bytes.
Yeah, my mom bought us an IBM PC with an amber monochrome screen, and I think it was like $2,000 in 1988 or 1989. Yeah, and I bet my dad was pissed. But we played the heck out of it.
PC Junior. He had a PC Junior at the house. It was like $2,000.
Yeah,
and we used to play King's Quest on it, man. Shout out to King's Quest,
bro. That's a classic RPG.
Yo, dude, like that's what got me into. I mean, I was always into gaming. Like even before, I was playing Pong, and then of course we're playing like the arcade machines you see behind me, Miss Pac-Man and all that stuff. But then when King's Quest came out, that changed my life, man. Because like my dad and I and my brother, we would draw maps of like all the areas. We would like write down all like the riddles and things and try to solve all the mysteries and what, how the hell are we going to get that the water in the bucket in the well? And it took us months and months to figure it out and all that kind of stuff. Man, it was awesome. And that's what made me fall in love with gaming for real. Like the other stuff I enjoyed, that's what made me fall in love.
Yeah. I always forget, Mag, that I spent a considerable amount of time in the mid to late 80s playing on a Commodore 64. California games, winter games.
Yeah. Ski or Die.
So many games.
I always forget Die that. And Ski or Die. Oh, man. I'm going to go watch videos of Ski or Die right now.
That's crazy. Yeah. And for you in the UK counterparts, it would be the Commodore Amiga. They were identical systems.
Yeah.
Test Drive Unlimited. Yeah, it was I did spend a lot of time playing games when I was younger and spent a lot of time outside. So Game Seeker, thank you so much for the Canadian $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, where's your doggone third panel member, Loki? What is... I had Loki in my last 2 videos. He's my favorite dog that drives me crazy. He wakes me up at 5 a.m., puts a paw on the mattress like you will get out of bed, and I want food. He says, what is your hype meter for Mouse PI for Hire? Do you think it'll be a breakout hit like High on Life? What do you think, Mag? I know you're excited for it.
I'm interested. I'm excited for it. I would think that it's something around the range of like a High on Life kind of thing. However, High on Life had one advantage, and the one advantage is that it was available on Game Pass. This one is not. This one you have to purchase.
You think it's a $20, $30 game?
I would say probably the same price as, let's say, Cuphead.
Yeah, sure.
That seems to be like what I'm thinking. It might be in that lane there, but we shall see.
Oh, South of Midnight is a $50 game, I think, too. It's not a full price game. I think it's 50.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna buy it, yeah. But I know the length of the game. Someone who finished it already.
For South.
So the game is around. Yeah, it's about 12 hours, 20 if you're a completionist, somewhere around there, somewhere around 12 to 20 hours. I know that's a big window, but I mean, that actually is not that unusual if you think about it. Because
that's pretty good.
Like for example, like you look at like a 100% achievement guide or a platinum guide for a game, and it'll give you a range. It'll say, time to completion 50 to 70 hours or whatever, right? Like Stellar Blade, for example, it says 40 to 60 hours to get a platinum on that. I'm already at 78 hours, and I haven't got the platinum yet, right? So it depends on what you do in the game, how much you explore, how much you walk around, check out things, this and that. So anyways, apparently South of Midnight's between 12 and 20 hours. So and that's someone who finished it. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we didn't dig into all the developer. Yeah,
that's perfect for me.
I like that. 20 hours is like really...
That's perfect, like especially for dad gamers like us now. We got so much crap on the go. Kids, work, careers, this, that, whatever, events, things that we have to go to in our lives and all that. Yeah, 12 to 20 hours is a wonderful, it's a great little, bite-sized snack that I can dive into for like a week
of playing it, a little bit
every like
day.
2 weeks. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, appreciate you, Game Seeker. Thank you so much. Meat Puppet with the 5 says, thank you, Meat Puppet. He says, thank you, Colt. How's the Switch 2 going to handle Call of Duty and its 300 gigabyte install? Shoot, I didn't even think of that. Like, we know it's going to run it, but I mean, there's going to be more. Obviously, there's going to be, that's going to be the thing. If you have a Switch, you can only have 3 games installed. Yeah, probably.
Well, that's the thing, man. Imagine having Call of Duty and that, like half your hard drive's gone.
Yeah, well,
more than half your hard drive.
Yeah, and Call of Duty will probably be only 150 or 125 gigs or something because
for that, yes,
it's not going to have all the extra assets that for big 4K TVs, 4K textures and all that crap. That the 4K textures takes up a ton of room. So, and also on the on Call of Duty, you can choose what you install. You don't have to install.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like I remove every time I do it. I hate that. You have to go in there. I'm like, oh my God, I never wanted Warzone. Get that out of there. Get this out of there. Get that out of there.
You're playing on PlayStation 5. Xbox has a built-in system to let you choose which components to install. But Call of Duty has it within the menu for all platforms. So you can do that on a lot of games for Xbox. Nerds and Other Legends, thank you for the 5. Says, just to clarify, push it to the limit from Scarface soundtrack by Paul Ingman.
What's he from? There you go, man.
So what's the next line? Push it to the limit. What's the next part?
Walk around the Razor's Edge. Yeah. Laser's Edge. Yeah. Walk along the Razor's Edge. It's too high. I can't sing that high.
You got it.
Limit. Yeah, it's a hilarious song, man.
I guess that's all he's done.
It's too late at night, dude.
It's
too late at night. I can't wail like that.
Yeah.
I got to do that earlier in the evening.
I've heard Mag sing. We both have kind of like a similar rock range. Giorgio Moroder did the song. He also did the Top Gun theme. He did a bunch of stuff for Footloose, and he did a bunch of 80s movies.
Dude, 80s songs. 80s songs are the most hilarious songs, like especially like the 80s like inspirational songs are so funny, and they're like in every single movie, like every Van Damme movie, every Schwarzenegger movie
around. Yeah, or
take it down. Yeah, that's from Karate Kid.
There's no easy way out.
Hey, that song is still good, man.
So, bro,
There's no shortcut home.
Dude, that was on my playlist at the gym for a long time, and it's super cheesy.
Dude,
but no one can hear it but me. Bro,
I still listen to the Rocky IV soundtrack when I work out.
So good.
So good,
Vince
man.
DiCola. He's amazing.
God.
Yeah. Risk It says, guys, Game Pass needs exclusivity to survive too. I agree, but it won't.
It won't. But
it'll have some
you know
exclusivity by nature of delay ports and stuff.
It'll just their exclusivity is going to be the price point. That's basically what it is. It's the price of entry is going to be the draw there, right? So like it's. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's like you could play, Doom the Dark Ages, for $25 as opposed to spending, or at least for me, $100 to play the game. Like, if I want to play it on PS5 Pro, which it's gonna, it's gonna have all these things and whatever else, and it's gonna be this and that and blah blah blah. Well, I got to pay $100 for that. Yeah. Or I just stay on Game Pass and I can just play it there. For that, I would have to really like the game to buy it for $100.
Yeah, I know, and I agree with that, and I also agree with Risk It that I think that Xbox should have just pre-built in a 2 to 3 month buffer.
You know what they should have done? They should have done what Sony does, like with the PC releases. Release it on Game Pass first, 6 months to a year, maybe not a year, but 6 months later, then release it on another console somewhere else, that you have the people that really have the FOMO. They're in there. Okay, you're always going to have the people that wait. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that person. Like, there's some people out there who lie, by the way, and they'll be like, oh, just wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come to PC. No, you won't. No, you won't.
No,
you won't. You're going to play it on a console, even if it's not your console. You're going to borrow your buddy's console, and you're going to play the damn game. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. You're not going to wait for the PC version to come out.
Xbox and PlayStation are actually going to see a small surge in console sales because of Grand Theft Auto 5.
I think it's going to be a big surge.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big surge,
Creed
not a
Black
small one.
Flag Shadows Incursion, whatever it's called.
When is Black, like, I mean, I know you and I have some pretty close ties to Ubisoft, but like I haven't heard anything about the Black Flag remake, which I'm really looking forward to.
It's still a go, so
I know it's still a go. I thought it was going to be this year. I want to know when.
I think it's going to be
this year. That'd be great.
Maybe it's going to be holiday at the end of the year because Assassin's Creed Shadows is early.
Good. I can't wait to play it with modern, with not 30 FPS.
Are they?
Because I was wondering, why did they ever fix it? I'm like, why did they ever do a 60 FPS
it's 60 on everybody's PC right now, but if they modernize,
not on the consoles,
they probably won't modernize the field.
The consoles, I think, is still running at 30.
Yep, it does 30. Yeah, of course, but I mean, anybody's PC can run it at 60 at this point. Like,
yeah, sure, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff for Assassin's Creed if you're a fan. There's tons. But yeah, I agree, Risk It. They do need a little bit of exclusivity, but the numbers say
you're lying.
The numbers say they're going to make a bunch of money anyway, day and date on PlayStation. Jeffrey Garcia, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, today I sold all 4 of my Xbox consoles and I'm keeping my gaming PC. I'm buying a ROG Ally X. I'm done with Xbox. I've officially migrated to PC. So he's done with Xbox console, but
consoles. I was going to say
Xbox consumer. Fully
Xbox consumer. And you know what? And like I said, at the end of the day, Microsoft don't care. They're getting your money either way. So you know, a lot of people did migrate from the Xbox console, and a lot of them went to PC gaming. And you know, a lot of people misconstrue that as, oh, they just abandoned Xbox. I'm like, no, they just abandoned the console. And that's why the console sales, console sales are floundering. They're not doing well or whatever. People are accessing it elsewhere. So it's still there. It's still making money. They're making billions of dollars. They're doing what they're doing. It's just they're not competing on the same platform anymore as the other guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something,
Yeah,
and I'm going to say something kind of crazy that let me write this timestamp down. Fans leaving Xbox. Phil has stated in the past couple of years that they lose $50 to $100 on an Xbox console. Let's say at this point, with the price increase, the hike, let's say they're losing. I'm just going to say this number because it's well under the. Let's say they're losing $20 every time someone buys a Series S or Series X. Let's say every time an Xbox console is sold in the world, somewhere out there, every time they do that, they lose $20. But they're like, we brought somebody in, hopefully they'll buy lots of games. If you say I'm going straight PC, I don't need a console anymore, I'm just going to buy my games on PC, Xbox probably goes, whew. You know, if a lot of people do that, we don't have to worry about the subsidy return. You can start making them money right away. But that's not what matters. What matters is if you migrate to PC, what was your name again? Jeffrey Garcia. You migrate to PC, you're getting a far better experience than everyone else who's on console. You're getting your games a little bit cheaper, and you're still healthy in the ecosystem. So yeah, it's a good thing. Matt the Golden chats in and says, what happened to Xbox Family Plan for Game Pass? Yeah, what the fudge happened to it? It was something they basically promised like a couple years ago. Meg, what do you say?
It's not coming.
Really?
Not coming.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Graham Man, thank you so much for the $2. Says my milk.
Sorry, I didn't. There's no other way to say it. It's just that when I heard, they just didn't bother.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but yeah, I would agree. They probably
kind of just abandoned the idea.
Yeah. I mean, they've had all kinds of plans they haven't done.
Like, don't forget, a lot of these companies, they come up with these things. The only problem with Microsoft is they don't know how to keep their mouths shut. They just keep yapping away about stuff, and I'm like, guys, can you just shut up? Yeah, just stop. Stop talking. Just release a product and just stop talking in between. Well, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I'm like,
well, you can get with this, or you can get with that.
Just stop speaking and just release products. You know, that's all it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like Disney. The Disney announces like 14 Star Wars movies. Not one of them has gone off the ground yet. Can you just shut up and just make a goddamn
Star Wars movie where the guy's a turtle? You know what, Meg?
This one's going to be set 25,000 years before Phantom Menace. Shut up and actually make the film.
I watched the Star Wars stuff and I'm like, wait a minute, this is before? Or is this after the before or before the after?
Just forget it.
I think that Xbox talks so much, Mag, because
they talk too much.
Because they've spent 10 years saying, hold on, we got stuff coming. And so I think that's why they were always like, yak, 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 yak. Like,
I guess in a point, and there's a point to that too. You're not wrong. But I mean, like,
I don't like it,
man. There's a lot of stuff that they talk about and then never comes to fruition. So it's like, can we just knock it off? Because you're just making yourself look worse at that point. Just release the products, let the products speak for themselves. But you're not wrong. It's their own fault for having 10 years of saying, oh, just wait till the next E3 or just wait till next year or wait till next year. That's their own fault. But everything else in between?
Yeah, I know. Malik says, shut up and make games. Yeah.
Well, and they're doing that now. But like also they're doing that now. But like that other stuff, just knock it off. Just release stuff.
Yeah, and of course they had all these grandiose plans that completely got flipped on its head because ABK came onto their lap.
Jesus Christ, Colt! Can you not say that?
By the way,
the show's over.
You like hot fudge sundaes? All right.
ABK's like, you like hot fudge sundaes?
Yeah,
the game last night. So last night we watched I Love You, Man. I've never seen that movie. I'm like, man, it's really old, and it was great. I laughed my head off.
Yeah. As business plans change, their strategies change, right? When ABK came in, people were thinking one thing was going to happen, and then about halfway through it, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I know what's going on here. So I started reaching out to people, and I realized what was happening then, and I'm like, oh, they're going another route. So all the things that they said they were going to do, they changed that, and then they changed this, then they changed that, and then they changed this. So it makes them look incompetent when they say one thing, and then all of a sudden 6 months later they're doing something else. That's the only reason why I'm saying stop talking, is because when your plans change, it almost seems like you're constantly contradicting yourself. You know what I mean? And that makes you look foolish. And I mean, I'm sure they don't care what I think, but I'm just saying from an outsider looking in, or from an insider looking in even more in, is that it looks foolish. And it's best to not say anything at all in that respect.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up one of the topics on the show that we won't even we won't talk about, but was that Phil Spencer was going to make a couple of appearances on some of the prominent podcast platforms after Developer Direct, and so he's going to be doing more talking, but reporting on the news that they have. And sometimes it's just like, Phil doesn't need to talk about things. Like, Sarah Bond should represent the gaming stuff when they need to, but the games need to do the talking. But thankfully for us right now, the games are doing the talking, and that leads us to Graham.
Let them do their thing. Let them do their thing.
Yeah, because I'd rather. it's fun talking about what's to come, what games that we're excited about. But now the games are here, and we're talking about them. Graham Man with the $2 super says, "My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard." And
yeah, well, there it is.
there
what
it is.
Is it a strawberry milkshake?
Strawberry milkshake. Mag, it's been a great show. We went way over.
Oh, it has been.
There's been KY Bob drops in with a $2 super chat and says, wins the next Xbox. When the next Xbox has Steam access, boom. I mean, that's the rumor. And if my Steam games, I own like 75 great ones on Steam. When those are accessible on that same box, I don't have to switch HDMIs back and forth, pick up the other controller. I've got this one synced to my PC. I've got this one synced to my Xbox. It's an absolute bloodbath. Yeah, I would love that to be all in one place. It'd be great. Thank you, KY Bob. Good shout. BT Maverick with a $5 super chat says, speaking of Xbox announcing things early, what do you guys think about the Xbox coming out with an OS for clunky Windows handhelds sometime this year? What do you think, Mag? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be better?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's not my playground that I play in, so I'm not really interested. However, I will watch from a distance because everybody knows what I do. I am a console gamer, and I always will be one. So that's where I consume. However, to keep up with the news and everything else, obviously I am very observant as to what's going on in the business and in the industry. So we will find out later this year.
Yeah, and I want to add, Meg, that universal dashboard will be on your next Xbox. Or
sure.
Does it come into your Xbox as a transitional period? I don't know, but we'll experience that console or that dashboard together, whether you're on PC or not. Hopefully, well, I mean, to be honest, the Xbox dashboard's not flashy. Well, I mean, totally honest. Everybody knows it. The Xbox dashboard's not flashy, but man, is it functional and it works. It's quick.
Functionality is better than flashy. Falcon, knock it off. Falcon in the chat. He goes, Mag likes to watch.
Facts.
Leave it up to the chat, eh? Like, I can't even say one word. 5 seconds later, the chat's got a joke.
You didn't say anything about laps and whatnot, and I
I didn't say anything.
It's been one for the record books, and your hands are totally clean. Yeah, we appreciate everybody. What a great show. We'll see you next week. If you like, you can subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, I'll be putting out probably a video, hopefully middle of the week if something comes up. But I've got the weekly news videos that come out Friday morning where I'll cover all the news that hits as it does. But also, you need to check out the Mag show, which has brand new opening animations. He's got all the branding there. His link is in the description. Mag, tell everybody what else they need to know. And shout out to 4XP. Code XNC 2025. Go buy some Gravewalker, the white gummy. Let us know what you think about it. The stuff's really inexpensive. Drink it up. It's actually pretty good for you too. So check it out. We appreciate them. It's delicious stuff. Mag, what do you got to say on the way out? You can sign us out.
No, I'm just gonna say great show tonight. Obviously, check out. Make sure you sub to Cole's channel. Hit that like button on your way out. Go to 4xpgaming.com to go check them out. Sell them out of their product, baby. I want all of it out on the streets, man. I want powder in the streets. All right, no more in the warehouse. I want it in the streets. I'm handing out free samples.
The street value of this mountain.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing? Yeah. I'm getting it all out there. I'm sending out the free samples to everybody to get everybody hooked. And then we're going to sell these guys out, okay? We'll do that. Check out the Mag Show. Yes, I only have one actual video out, and I have nine game streaming videos out there, so 10 in total. I got more streaming coming tomorrow, more on Wednesday as well. And sometime before the weekend, I will be launching a new video. Please forgive me. I am still a fledgling in terms of the production value of that
we'll get it. I'll help you.
So we'll get it better and get the quality better. But the content is always a 10 out of 10, folks. The Mag Show, you can find me there on YouTube. So anyways, everybody have a great night. We'll see you all next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on XNC. And y'all have a great evening and great week. All right? Talk to you all soon.
Thank you so much. Hit the like button on the way out. And if you want to win the tub of Gravewalker white gummy 4XP powder, right in the chat after the chat goes up, after it's not live anymore, write Gravewalker and let us know what you think of the show. Mag, thanks for everything. See you guys next week.